Yo, what is going down, y'all? Welcome in the most underrated podcast, broadcasting from Certified Tattoo Studios. I'm your guy, Thomas the Franchise, the homie Dal Palantonio sitting across from me, JJ Stringstein at the end of the table. Feels good to be back with you guys, man. Even though it's Monday, snowy again, snowy blizzard. I'm so pumped. I woke up, I was like, fuck, dude, more snow. Like, already starting off bad with the F-bombs too, my bad. But I was like, damn, look out the window, super snowy. I was like, it's going to be terrible driving in. But luckily, it's President's Day.
Yeah.
No issues. It was awesome. We were late, so you were sitting here for like 30 minutes because you didn't expect traffic to be that good. You got here super early. We were super late. You forgot your phone. Your phone's on the Macaulay Culkin shit. Shit's Home Alone right now. Yeah. You got no phone, so you had plenty of time to go back and get it. You didn't go back and get it. So now you're going to try to go through the day with no phone and go with like a little backup phone. You got connected to Wi-Fi. It doesn't even have your number on it. Yeah. But let's be real. Your shit's dry as hell anyway. Your phone ain't going to be blowed up.
JJ, no phone.
Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal for you. Yeah, man. Anyways, a lot of stuff to cover this as we had a just crazy weekend in all aspects. I mean, a crazy weekend and stuff going on, crazy weekend in life, a crazy last week in life for you and your situation.
Yeah.
I want to jump into, obviously, J. Cole playing here in the background. Killed it at the All-Star Game, so we definitely want to talk about that, talk about NBA All-Star stuff. There was a lot going down last night. Not only the All-Star Game, not only the UFC fights, you had WWE Elimination Chamber up against all that as well. So for people that may be interested in wrestling, you had to do a lot of jumping around last night. I had to do a lot of DVRing and going back and watching. And sometimes with sporting events, that's tough, especially when you're trying to really pay attention because you know what already happened. So you're not as locked in as you normally would be. So that's what made my Sunday night tough, my weekend tough. But anyways, how are you doing, Dal? How's it going, man?
I'm hanging in there, man. This cast may be a little rough on my behalf. The energy is going to, be up and down, just like life has been this last week.
Right.
Man, what a super downer for sure. So, you ready to get into it?
Yeah, go ahead and jump into it. I mean, I really wanted to get into some We Are Back,
Yeah, totally.
Best friends that anybody could have.
No, we are back. Anyways, man. We are back. We can jump into the whole thing. We can jump right into it. I know a lot of people are curious on why we missed the cast. I know you kind of had a loss and stuff like that, but let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. And it's kind of crazy, just the situation and how the stuff we were talking about at the end of the last show, or on the last show that we did, and how this happened, and then it just ties into that. It's so crazy. We recorded this shit on Monday, and everything went down for you Tuesday.
Yeah, it did for sure. So, I'll get into it. Again, this is going to be hard, so everybody out there, bear with me here. It's been a trying week from so many different facets, man. But Tuesday, I was at work and got a couple weird text messages, stating that Robin was, my lady was on the phone with police. And, I didn't think much of it because, it is what it is. Robin's parents, have been, thinking about splitting up for years, and it kind of came all to a head. They were doing counseling, being able to talk to each other in a controlled environment about what they wanted to do and how they wanted to,
They had been doing counseling.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And this was more of, from what I know, this counseling was more of just being able to talk to each other in a controlled environment, not about staying together necessarily or splitting. It was more of just being able to have somebody unbiased to help them conversate. That's all this really was for. So, they had been doing that. I think they were on their second session, and Tuesday rolls around. I get an odd text message from Robin, just stating that, hey, I'm on the phone with the police, and I'm freaking out. I'm trying to work. I've got my district manager in my store.
No shit,
dude. I'm trying to do a visit with her. I'm trying to get people hired. I've got 2 interviews coming in that day. Like,
damn.
I'm jacked, right? And, I get a couple of texts, and obviously, things kind of change pretty quickly, and had to reassess. And sorry, again, this is really hard here.
It's super hard. And it's hard being gone, missing a show, and then just coming right back into this, man. It's a super tough situation. It doesn't feel, you're kind of out of rhythm too.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, take your time.
Totally. So these texts just get more weird and weird as time goes on, and by that time I finally get to talk to Robin, and she kind of lets me know what the situation is. But she got an email, her and her sister, from her father, that he was planning on committing suicide, and you obviously take that very, very serious. So Robin obviously wanted to get the cops involved to try to.
This went on in the morning.
Yeah, this was Tuesday morning. Yeah, so Robin got the police involved just to try to see what was going on, and the police have to treat it as such. So they can't go into the house. They just can't barge in, right? There has to be warrants, and there has to be people signing over that it's okay to go into somebody's house. So this event obviously transpired and took place for, multiple hours. And as soon as Robin and Sydney, her sister, got over there to the, where the house is, obviously the cops have it blocked off, and, they can't go in, they can't say anything, they can't do anything.
Oh, the whole street and everything is all blocked off.
All blocked off, yeah.
Cops and
unfortunately,
SWAT or whatever.
So, yeah, SWAT's there,
Jeez.
dogs, they have to treat it, as an investigation, and
Right.
they did know that there were guns involved. So they had to treat it as such, and the investigation obviously happened through half the day, and they ended up taking Robin and her sister and her mother and Sydney's husband, Kevin, to the police department. Around 2:00, at the police department, the main investigator came in and let them know that her father had committed suicide.
Damn.
So
Dude.
I got that call, and I wasn't with them, which
Right.
was really, really hard, just to be there and support. Luckily, Kevin was there and did a great job helping support them. But that's a call that you never want to get.
Awful, dude.
That a family member, let alone a friend, anybody. We look at Mac Miller. We look at some of these individuals that we've lost in the past years. That's just not a call that you want to get. And I did get the call about 2:30, somewhere in there, that he had taken his life. We don't really want to get into kind of why he did or why he didn't. I think the important part is, if you know that somebody's, suffering, that somebody's going through a hard time, I think the important thing is to not only be by their side, but to reach out to your loved ones. If you haven't said I love yous, if you haven't let somebody know that you care about them, I would say take any opportunity you can. Take an old lost friend, to lunch. You may never see anybody that next day. These things come up, and they're there to obviously remind you that life is a delicate thing, and life can be taken away at any given time. And my advice to anybody out there, again, is to let your loved ones know that you love them. I'm not a big I love you kind of guy. Well, we've talked about that in the cast, and I think that's one thing that Robin is not used to. Her and her family always have done a very, very good job of letting each other know, their feelings and that they love each other, whether it's leaving from a place, going to another destination, getting home, arriving from another destination. Hey, I'm safe. Hey, I love you. Hey, I'm leaving. I love you. And that's
Their family does a good job at that. Well, that's kind of been an issue with you guys in your relationship.
Yeah, because she's used to that with her family.
And you grew up so differently.
And I'm not. It started from my grandma's side. My dad's mom. She never said it. She never really said it to me. And my dad never really said it to me. Mom did a little bit here and there, but it wasn't something that to and from destinations. And hey, we arose from a destination. Hey, we're gone from a little bit. I missed you. I love you. There wasn't as much of that. And we always knew that we were loved. It just it wasn't verbally said as much as some families do. So kind of obviously different, dynamics with Robin and I, and that's obviously interfered with parts of our relationship. But something like this happens. Obviously, you're reminded that life is a fragile thing. Number one, and number two, it probably doesn't hurt if you love somebody. Let them know. Right. Let your feelings out. It's okay. You can still be a man.
You and I are opposite on that too.
Yeah.
I'm more on Robin's side because I grew up in a family that, when you got off the phone, you just said, I love you at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You left the crib. All right, cool. See you guys later. Love you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just what it was at my house.
And see, at my house, if you threw it around like that, I feel like maybe I was taught that took some of the actual emotion away from it. If you
which I could see in a relationship, but not as family.
Yeah.
Family, you love each other all the time. I mean, I would want to love on my family as much as I could. I imagine when I have a kid, I'm going to fucking tell that motherfucker I love the shit out of him every damn day.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Squeezing them,
Yeah.
be kissing them on the head and making them feel all crappy. Like that's just the kind of dad I want to be.
Totally.
I want to be completely 300% involved in that little man's life or that little woman's life and coaching them up on life and trying to give them every bit of game that I know and every bit of knowledge that I have and just make sure they feel loved, man. Make sure they feel like they have a best friend in their parent and someone that's going to give them not best friend in the sense that I'm letting them just mess around and fuck off, but best friend is in, they can confide in me. They could come to me when they got the tough issue. They can come when they got the tough bullying stuff or conversations about sex or things at school. Like I want to give them that, you know, and that's the kind of parent I want to be. And so my kids aren't in that weird middle ground where it's like, man, this is weird to me. Like my girl needs me to tell her I love her every time we get off the phone or every time, you know, before I'm leaving the crib or whatever, kind of like you're in a weird situation. But there's also girls that are on your side that would find a guy like me weird as hell. They'd be like, damn, this fool's like always so lovey and tell me I love, you know.
Yeah.
We just didn't grow up like that. We didn't really, and then that would probably make me not feel loved in my relationship because I'd be like I'd be like in Robin's position where I'm like, damn, this girl never tells me she loves me. She never makes me feel loved. And that's just the way I like to be loved.
Sure.
We've talked about that, you know, affection is for me. Maybe not as much for you, but her family was very affectionate people, very loving people. So my question to you, and not to get too personal, you're talking about, you know, make sure you're checking in on your family, checking in on your friends, telling them you love them, telling them you care about them. Had he been alluding to this before? Was this something that had come up in the past a bunch of times, or was it just out of the blue?
Yeah, what I would tell you is it was more out of the blue.
Okay.
I will tell you this, though. He was a hell of a parent. He was a hell of a dad. Father, he was a hell of a husband. You know, when something went wrong, when something happened, he was at a beck and call. You know what I mean? He was right there at arm's length. He never, ever was not supported the girls. They were best friends, you know, him and his wife, and best business partners. And I think this is obviously a big hit to Robin's mom. I think.
You said they'd been trying to kind of split for a minute. Or?
They had, and so to answer your question, he
was it. Sorry, before you continue, was it one of those situations where they were incredible friends and business partners, but just not the right marriage or lovers or whatever the case may be there? Because I see that a lot of people stay together in marriages for business because it's better for business. It's easier for the family, and you two basically are a business. You're running a business together, and it would just be way too hard to dissemble.
I think that was a big part of it for sure. I think she probably stayed in it a little longer than what she wanted to. But to get back to your question, the answer to that is I believe, and the family believes, that he just couldn't see them not together. Okay, so I think that's where it starts. Now, has he mentioned suicide? Has he mentioned killing himself? Has he mentioned he would rather die? No, absolutely not. But based off of him and some of the things that he just couldn't see his life without her, I mean, it makes sense from some degree, because just to give you a little background on him, he is obviously one of those individuals that is all or nothing. And in this case, when somebody wants to separate more than the other, and that was the case, she wanted to leave him more than obviously he wanted to lose her or leave her. That wasn't going to be okay with him, because he was a very all or nothing kind of guy. And, you know, when he was in, he was all in. And when it didn't make sense, you know, he would stay in his bubble of his own world kind of thing. So to answer your question, no, I don't think any of us thought he would commit suicide. But again, he couldn't see his life without his partner, you know, his best friend, his lover. And again, I would say, not knowing a lot of their dynamics, I think they were better friends. And I think they were better business partners, but the lovers, I think they were guilty of many other marriages out there and partnerships. I think they lacked, you know, some of the lovers' mentality and what lovers, you know, should have in a relationship as well.
Right.
So,
what about how do you think this is going to affect yours and Robin's relationship moving forward? Like, I know you came in, like I said, I mean, if we kind of go back to the last show. If you guys were able to catch that cast, then you know what we're talking about. If you weren't, shame on you, man. You need to be not missing an episode, damn it. It's like a reality show. Like, you miss an episode and you're gone. You're like, what did I miss? What's going on? Like, you're out the game, bro. You got to take the L on the way out. So make sure you're listening to every show. No, I'm just messing with you guys. But anyway, we talked about the last cast, how you were feeling down. You were feeling depressed. We even had some comments, and we'll go through the YouTube comments later, about people like expressing their concern for you. I'm getting DMs like, is Dal all right? He seemed super down. He seemed not himself. And, you know, everyone's allowed to have a bad day. Everyone's allowed to have a little bit of a bad time. And we kind of addressed some of the things that maybe were making you feel down, some of the stuff that maybe made you feel the way you felt. And
you actually took the time to do that for me. And I appreciate that. It wasn't life-changing. It wasn't anything special. You just pulled me aside and said, hey, man, I'm here, man. If you want to talk,
Yeah.
let me know. Hit me up today. And I'll tell you what, man, those are the instances that people remember. And those are the instances that I wasn't thinking about jumping off a bridge necessarily, but I just couldn't really, nothing was really aligning. I was putting a lot of work into this, into the career, into the relationship, into counseling, into the podcast, and just not seeing a lot from it in my head, in my way of thinking. And for some person, like, for example, you or my family, obviously I talked to them a lot throughout this last event that just happened, which was good too, because I haven't been, keeping up with my family. But you just offering a hand to say, hey, man, I'm here. If you want to come over, hang out. Let's hang out, man. What do you want to do tonight? What do you want to do? Those things make all the difference. And for Robin and I, to get back to that, seeing her go through this, seeing the dynamics of a patriarch being lost in a family, has really made me think about a lot of different things. And, when you think you have it bad, when you think you're having a bad day, to see something like this and to have to actually go through something like this and be kind of the person outside looking in, but also a part of the family. Man, we did a lot of luncheons. We did a lot of dinners, as a family, and I'm going to miss a lot of things from this. But I will tell you this, man. I have been saying I love you to Robin more than I ever have.
No way.
Not because I have to.
Yeah, right.
Because I fucking feel like it.
Right.
Okay? There's one F-bomb for you, JJ. I feel like it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It comes to me. It's natural. It's not forced. And that was my problem with it. And when I don't feel forced, I don't have a problem. Okay? When somebody's forcing me to say it, wanting me to say it, putting pressure to say it, I don't want anything to do with that. So, what has transpired from this is, I don't even want to leave Robin, to go run an errand.
I know, that's what you told me this morning. You're like, yo, dude, I'm running late. I'm running late for the cast,
it's
bro.
hard to leave Robin.
It was hard to leave her this morning.
I want to make sure that she's good. I want to make sure.
It's the first time you've had to leave her, right?
Last night. So I missed, just to get into it a little bit, I missed one of the fights last night because she texted me when she was laying in bed, and I was trying to recap all the sports and all that good stuff for the cast, and because I wanted to, and she sends me a text real quick because she's already laying in bed, and she's like, hey, can you just come lay next to me for a couple minutes? Just please, for just a couple minutes, and ask me if I could versus telling me that I should, and I didn't eat. My ass is I hauled my ass up there as quick as I could, brought her in my arms and said, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you, babe. I'm here.
That's cool, man.
So I think what this is going to do.
Wait, are you going to tell me you weren't taking your notes? You weren't super entrenched in your notes, jotting down your notes, and you didn't text her back and like, I'm watching the All-Star game, babe. What's the deal? You didn't hit her with one of those?
I didn't hit her with those. No, man. And I hope this mentality stays. I hope this is something that, as time moves on, as it will, people are never ever forgotten. But times you have to move on eventually. You have to keep rocking in life, and you have to keep moving forward. And I hope that isn't the case, but I've been super supportive of her and her family. I had to go back to the house 2 days after the biohazard team came into the house, cleaned it up, all that stuff. I went in with her mom. Whatever they needed, I was there. I was running errands for them. And when something like this happens, man, it's not about asking them 1,000 questions. What do you need? What do you want? Where do you want to go? What do you need? It's about just finding out what they need and just making it happen.
Yeah.
If you think they're fucking hungry, go get them something to eat.
Right.
If you think they need something, go get it. Go get it before being asked. And that was kind of me. I was kind of the errand boy. I was the support staff. I was the rock. I was, no Sean Connery, but
no Dwayne Johnson.
For sure. Good
Yeah,
one.
thanks.
Can you
Can't believe you missed that one.
Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, no doubt. But I'm only one man.
Yeah.
going through this. But yeah, man, I think it'll really strengthen Robin and I's relationship. I'd like to think that. I'd like to believe that. It already has. It already is. And I think for me, the biggest thing I'm going to get out of it is trying to be a better son, to my mom and to my dad, being able to, communicate with them more often. You and I have talked about it. Sometimes we don't talk to our moms for a month or two, and, not that we're shitheads, but I don't want to be that guy. I don't, because I don't want to have regrets. And when I look at Robin and her sister and her family, Dude, they talked a lot as a family. Dad was a little weird. Dad was a little eclectic, eccentric. And we'll kind of give him a
From
little
what I
tribute.
understand, I never met the guy, but he's very intelligent.
Dude,
Very intelligent man, which some of those people are tough to have convos with, dog. They're not...
the flow's not as great,
exactly,
right?
It's their sense of humor is different. Their mind works differently. The way they think and the way they look at you and... Whenever I talk to a super, super smart person, I can just see them looking into my soul and processing every bit of information. And I just picture Rain Man. I just picture calculus and formulas and everything coming around out of their head while they're looking at me. I'm like, what the hell is this guy thinking about right now?
Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover.
Exactly. When he's coming down the escalator. Yeah, dude. And he's like, his hair's all... Dude, exactly. Or I feel like...
Or like Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting.
Exactly.
Wow.
For some reason, I picture them talking to themselves in this weird robot voice and does not compute. This kid's stupid. And he was an intelligent guy.
Oh, man, God, dude. One of the smartest guys I've ever talked to. And, yeah, it was. He did have a sense of humor. And, sometimes when I bring the dad jokes to the podcast, which I try not to as much, they're from him.
Oh,
dude,
really?
I've been having too many luncheons and too many dinner dates with the family, and a lot of those dad jokes, because that's where he's at. He loves that sense of humor, and he was funny. He loved to just host these dinners and have the and just have the floor. And unfortunately, people like you and I love to have the floor as well.
Right.
So, I'm bringing the poop jokes, the fart jokes, and that kind of stuff to break the ice, because this family is very very hoity-toity a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They like the finer things in life. And
I could tell, because you have started to like the finer things since you've dated Robin. You guys have been going to all these super nice restaurants. You guys do the restaurant week. You guys are basically Timur.
Yeah.
No one even knows Timur. This is like a super inside joke. Sure. It's this guy we used to work with.
Yeah.
But he's super like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's just all about uppity and the finer things and really trying to... He just loves that.
The ambiance, the service, the food, the going through multi-courses.
Right.
Dude, my palate is so educated now, it's ridiculous.
And I'm complete opposite. I'm a chicken nugget, mac and cheese type, like pizza type of kid. Like, just
for sure.
Whatever. I don't need it. You want me to pay $62 for this tiny little plate of veal?
Yeah.
Get out of my face. What are we doing here?
Yeah. It's the worst.
It's but my girl's also kind of the same as me, so it works out. We haven't really been too challenged in that area. She's a little bit more versed than me, a little bit more high end than I am.
Yeah.
But she's not quite pizza and chicken nuggets. But
you bet. Well, let me give you a little tribute. So just to let the audience kind of know what we're dealing with here. The best family man ever. My lady's been married once already, and the funny thing is, we can get funny here. I was at the wedding. I brought my best buddy Muzz as my plus one. But I've known Robin for a long time, and Robin's been through a lot in her life, and her dad has never ever made fun of her, never given her a hard time for anything. He's just the patriarch and the continual supporter of that family. He was the tie that binds, and that's going to be a big miss from not having him anymore. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to step up in a lot of different ways than what I ever have. But I'll tell you, he was a libertarian. This guy was very into politics, which we are not. But the cool thing was, the reason he was in politics is because he wanted people to be able to do and say and feel what they wanted to say and feel and do, right? He wanted people to have their rights. He wanted people to, he wanted to turn politics into a more ethical platform. He wanted more fairness, and that's what he brought. He was that type of guy. He was just concerned with everybody, and maybe to a fault, as we see now. Maybe if he would have concentrated a little bit more on himself, on his own health, on his own wealth, mentally and physically. Because he did have some physical ailments as well that had nothing to do with this incident, but just cared about the world, cared about making it more ethical, more fair, having your own rights. He was a big believer in the Second Amendment, which is interesting, that this is all transpired. He believed in the right to bear arms, and no guns were going to be taken away. So the libertarian, their views are very liberal, but they're very conservative with money and with their thinking. So libertarians are kind of different than the traditional Republican Democrat, but very good guy, very ethical, very fair.
I think there's a lot of people like that don't even know. I think there's a lot of people that are liberal in their views, but their fiscal conservatives, with their money and wealth and stuff like that. They're super conservative in that aspect. So I think that's where a lot of people are torn. They're down the middle. That's why what's going on right now with politics and everything else is so hard for a lot of people, because they're like, this guy's a fucking retard, but I'm used to being this way. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's just, I meet a lot of people that are in that middle ground, that are in that want a more liberal approach. Yeah. To some things, but still have conservative with some things, whether it's guns or money or finances, anything like that. So it's interesting, man. And I will say, this, not everyone else does. I went through a similar situation back in around 2010, I believe, dating a girl, and same thing, dude. I'm working at T-Mobile one day. I get a call from her mom, and she says, "Hey," she's just crying, bawling. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? She's like, Don's dead. I'm like, what are you talking about? She said he killed himself. I'm like, what? She's like, I can't get a hold of my girl at the time, so she's can't get a hold of her. So I get the call. I'm like, dude, I got to go. I leave work, rush out of work to her workplace, show up there, and I have to break it to her right there in the workplace. Like, I can't even contain myself. Wow. Her pops has just committed suicide. And it was the same thing. I had to kind of be there for her, and I kind of had to do as much as I could, but it was so hard. And also it was a different situation, because not only have we not been together as long as you and Robin, we didn't have the connection that you and Robin have, or we didn't have, we weren't on that level. I kind of probably knew in the back of my mind, like, this wasn't going to work and this wasn't going to be the end all be all. And it's easier to say that now than when you're in it. And when you're in it at the time, you maybe don't feel that, but I think I did a little bit. I think I noticed that it wasn't going to work out, and that made it even harder to try to support her and go through it with her. And I was just trying to do it the best I could, but it was a totally different situation regarding suicide. This gentleman, he had been battling a lot of demons and a lot of stuff himself. He never really, it wasn't blamed to the family at all, or it wasn't anything to do with the marriage really, or anything like that. It was his own demons that he had battled for years. And he had brought up suicide multiple times before, and he, just because of his own shit, his own stuff in his own head, and he just couldn't get by it. And one day it just became too much, and he didn't want to deal with it anymore. Yeah. And that's what sucks. And unfortunately, as the years have gone on, I've run into my ex and her mom, not really my ex much, but her mom a couple times. And me and her mom are still very cordial and cool, even though it didn't work out with us. And she, it's as weird as it sounds, she seems so much happier in life. I think she knew that he was battling that. That was dragging her quality of life down a little bit. She knew that he was having trouble and battling these things. And you can just tell that not to say that she doesn't miss him, not to say that it didn't hurt, not to say that it wasn't the worst day of her life, but she seems like she's able to let that almost go. Like, it's a weight lifted off her shoulders, because she was having to make sure he was constantly okay battling his own stuff. Does that make sense? Yeah. So no matter what, when it comes to suicide, it's never easy. There's totally different reasons though. Yeah. It's not always, there's not one universal reason. There's not one thing or one, problem that's happening. There's a ton of different stuff. There's tons of reasons why people are feeling the way they feel inside, and ultimately why they feel like they don't want to live anymore. Yeah. That's sad.
I think the hard thing is being a part of this. This is my first, suicide that I've had to deal with, and kind of, again, being the man outside, but still kind of on the inside as a support. And what does that look like? And how do you support somebody? That's been tough, but you naturally figure it out, which is nice. But what I would say, man, sorry, I got so many thoughts.
No, I get it.
With this is, I think, when a person commits suicide, obviously they're so entrenched into their head and what they're feeling and what they're thinking that they forget about what they have to live for. And I hope that I can remind everybody that, man, everybody has something to live for, whether it's a kid, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's work. You're wanted. You're loved. And sometimes it's hard to hear that you are when you're in this zone. But I think the hardest thing for me was to see a family that was not expecting this, to see a girlfriend, hopefully a future wife, that has to go through these things of, what could I have done? What could I have said? If given one more chance, could I have talked him out of it? And my answer to a lot of these things, when she asked these things just generally, I said, no, This individual had already made this decision.
Right.
And he didn't think about you. He was only thinking about himself, and he was only thinking about a way out. He had come to a point where he just couldn't find anything worth living anymore. And it doesn't make you not worth it. It doesn't make the family not worth it. They just get into a place in their head where they just can't see past anything. And I want you to know it's not your fault. I want you to know that it's not you. And I want you to know that there wasn't anything that you could have done.
Right.
You know? But the survivors, obviously, there's probably guilt. Some people that survive a plane accident, half of them don't and half of them do. You have survivor guilt a little bit. What could I have done? What could I have said?
Yeah, of course.
And for those people, I would say nothing. You couldn't. But the people now, today, my advice is reach out to the ones that you love and just let them know. Let them know that you care, and let them know that we're thinking about them. Let them know, try to make some time, to go out to dinner. Sometimes you're going to change the world and sometimes you can't. But, the survivors are tough. The ones that are left here on this planet, it's hard to make it through there, but it's not your fault.
I think it's a good message about feeling loved and just about feeling, because I think that's something that I've learned about in my relationship currently. And I've tried so hard to turn around and so hard to work on. Dude, I get the worst temper ever from my dad.
Yeah.
Like, we just have bad fucking tempers and we're super competitive people. So him and I, it's very, very hard for him and I to, if we're not agreeing on something or seeing eye to eye, we're very passionate. We're back and forth with it, and it's hard to get anything accomplished. And it's been that way for years. With this new relationship, I've had to be patient because she's so delicate. She's so much more delicate than me. She's not like in that way. She can grow up around loud people, loud, passionate people, yelling people. Like, I yell at the TV during sports. I yell at everything. I'm loud and passionate. It doesn't mean I'm feeling a certain way. It's just how I am. I'm vocal, I'm loud. And being in that relationship, it's really taught me, hey, I used to get to a point where I would be so off the rails, like no matter how illogical it was, you couldn't tell me anything. I was just so wrapped up and I was so ready to, this is this way. There's no way around it. There's no way out of it. This is how it is. And I would get in my head so much, whether I was too hungry, let myself go too long, where I was too hungry, whether I was not thinking clearly and emotional off of something else, no matter what it was. That's why I've changed into so much more of I try to be a logical thinker and not so much emotional, because the emotional stuff is what leads you down that rabbit hole of, this is the worst ever. It can never get better. I can never go back. This is the way it is, and you just, no matter what anyone tells you, no matter how many times they apologize or say sorry about something or whatever the case may be, whatever the argument is, whatever's coming up, no matter what happens, they can't get through to you. And it sounds like that he was at that point. He just hit that wall and it's like nothing is going to get through to him. He doesn't see anything else. He doesn't see another way. And I've been there. And I'm trying so hard to get away from that, because I see what it's done to my past relationships. I see what it's done to me as a person. Like, it's never been good. It's never been good. It's never come from a good place. Whenever you're so steadfast on something and you are not willing to budge at all or listen to another side or compromise, and you're just stuck on that, generally it's not going to be good. It's not going to end good for anyone. It's the result afterwards. The resolution you're trying to get to isn't probably going to end up being as good as it could be, because you're not listening to the other side at all. You're not taking into account their feelings. Yeah. And it just sounds like he was like that, man. He was just at that point. Yeah. And I've been there, and it sucks. I know, I'm not to the point where I'm suicidal, but to the point where I can't be told anything else, and it's wrong, dude.
You don't want to live in that bubble.
You don't. It's awful.
It's hard to get out.
It's an awful feeling too, because inside your mind that you're wrong and that you messed up, but you can't get past it. And I'll allude to that in a minute. I'll tell you a story about my weekend, man. So I've been there, dude. I know what he's feeling. I know what he's talking to, or what he was feeling, as far as, like I said, not suicidal, but becoming to a point where you feel like this is the only option. You've got to battle this, whether it's an argument you're going to battle for, whether it's you don't want to live anymore, whether it's anything. Once you get down a path of no turning back, it's really dangerous in all facets of life. So I think that message is good from you, man. It's like, hey, just realize that, try to snap out of it and realize that you are loved and things can change and things can be better tomorrow. Maybe you just need to get some food. Maybe you just need to for me, it's weed, but for some people, just something to kind of CBD, pure spectrum, you know what I mean? Any of that stuff, just something to relax you and make you think a different way. 'Cause it's burned into your mind that everything is this way right now. And you just need something to get you off of that just to move you to the right just a little bit, or to the left just a little bit, off of that space and off of that dot, to get a different view, to get a different perspective.
Yeah.
And whatever that is that you need, you know, I would encourage you to try to get that, whether it's friends, whether it's, like I said, for me, weed, whether it's food, whether it's whatever, just before you feel yourself getting to that point of no turning back. Cause I know we all feel that way, and I guarantee you sitting here listening to the show, you've been driving, you've been on your way to your girlfriend's house, your family's house, whatever. You're so mad and steamed up about something while you're on the way over there that there is no change in your mind. You went in, you had it set in your mind. You were going to cause a shitstorm. You were going to cause a tornado. You went in there, you did it. You caused the tornado. You whipped up all this damage. You left. Now things are worse than they were before. And for what? Why did you do all that? Then you went and got yourself some food, and now you feel like an idiot. Then you went and chilled out and cooled off, and now you feel really stupid. Mm-hmm. How many times have we all done that? Yeah. I can't say whether this was, so far gone beyond that. I'm just saying, as a whole, man, we've got to remember that it's not always that deep. It's really not. Like, there's always solutions. There's always a way out. Whether it's a job you hate, whether it's being around people you hate, you can always make change. You can always make the necessary changes to make yourself happy. Even if you're just forget over everything, you want to just move to Hawaii, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can save up the money and make the changes to do it. That's the thing. We can always make changes, man. We don't have to do anything we don't want to do. We're not forced to do anything we don't want to do.
I think to add to that, there's always something around the corner, good or bad, but there's always something new right around the corner.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago with life. Just what's the reason for waking up every day? The possibility of miraculous things happening. The possibility of something that you didn't even see coming, good or bad.
Yeah.
You wake up Tuesday morning, you're not expecting this. You're thinking, I'm going to try to maybe be a little better today and iron out my relationship with Robin.
Yeah. We
talked about it on the cast yesterday. I'm going to try to do a little better.
Yeah.
You don't wake up thinking that's going to happen.
Right.
You don't wake up thinking any of that. Now, certain negatives, the best people can turn those negatives into positives and make them positive things. And as bad as this was and as bad as it is, this may be something that turns your mindset around as Dallas, something that turns you around and your relationship around and the way you feel about Robin. This actually, it's not that you didn't love her before. It's not that you didn't care about her before, but this brings it out. It's almost like someone that's been waiting to cry forever, but's been being too tough or trying to be too much of a man or whatever. And then all of a sudden that something just hits them and everything just comes pouring out. Yeah. And it's like, damn, I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that. Whether you need that cry or that food or that weed or whatever, it's just, you want to get it. You want to just get it out.
Yeah.
And that's what this feels like to me, man. And I think it might be, it could possibly be a turning point in your guys' relationship. Okay. It feels weird talking about this. We're so deep on this cast, man. I think that's what people appreciate about us, is the fact that we do go deep and we do try to keep it 200% authentic. Yeah. We'll talk about whatever. And,
our people expect that.
Right.
And
right.
And we're going to do our best job at that. I think that's what makes us different. The authenticity. You can't buy that. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to find out there.
But it's hard for you to do, dude. It's hard for you to come in here and talk about that shit.
It is.
It's hard for me to come in here and talk about my weekend and all the stuff that I went just happened to me, dude. Like so much stuff that it's not fun for us, but I know it contributes to the show. I know it makes the show better. And ultimately, talking about things is good. Yeah. Getting them out is good. Hearing other people's perspective and outlook on things is good. Yeah. Because the more you keep it bottled up inside, the more you keep thinking you're right about everything and you don't ever look at another view, right. The more you continue to not listen to other people and maybe take their side of things into account. Are you improving yourself? Are you getting any better? Are you making yourself any better? Are you making your relationships with people, with your family, with your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your coworkers? Are you making that any better by just closing yourself off to the world and putting up walls and not talking about stuff? No. Not at all. And you kind of, when we talked about it, you kind of were like that in the beginning, or you've been like that at periods of life. Like, so this is for you, this is pretty opening up. It's big. I know you, so I know this is huge for you. Me, I'm kind of just, off the cuff, whatever. Sure. But you, this is big for you. You're pretty, not only a private guy, but you're pretty, you're pretty on straight and narrow. You don't really just pop off and get overly emotional, talk that overly emotional shit.
Right.
You just don't.
Try to keep that neutrality in
Yeah.
there, that balance, because I think that's where it is. I mean, a little bit of passion and a little bit of understanding, and I try to find myself in between both of those, because I think you can take a little bit of good from both sides of that and then have this momentous meet you in the middle type of perspective. And I think you're able to not only listen, but you're able to hear. Okay, and I think there's a big difference between that. So to kind of put a button on this, I'd like to say two more things here. Number one, if you feel like you don't, if our listeners don't feel like they have anybody, we do have a Gmail, mostunderratedpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up. If you're struggling with something, if you're not feeling something, if you just need a perspective, we'll do our best to get to you as soon as we can. But we're here. We can listen. We've been through a lot. So if you can't go to your family, you can't go to your friends, somebody's not listening, hit us up. We'll do our best. We'll put that out there to anybody we can try to help. We value our listeners. We value our viewers. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't continue to grow. So, if you feel yourself at the end of your rope, hit us up. See if we can try to help. See if we can try to get you a balanced perspective. So I'd offer you that. There's a great suicide hotline. I don't know if we want to give that number over the cast. We sure could.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. But number two, so we'll give that, if you want to look up that number and just give that number over the cast.
All you do is turn on the Logic song. Fool.
Yeah, no doubt. Turn on the Logic.
Just listen to Logic. There you go.
But again,
right
to button this up, we didn't do a traditional funeral on Saturday. We did a send off and more of a celebration at a mortuary, and it went really, really good. We expected about 50 to 60 people. We had about double that. We hit room capacity really quick. But anywhere from his friends, his family, his libertarian political group, he knew a lot of people, and to hear the great things said about him was just mind-blowing. He really served the people. He really served his family. Robin, through the divorce that she went through, helped her get back on her feet, helped her get a house, helped her, even as crazy as he was with just doing certain things, getting certain things done and bothering like parents do, he changed their lives, and he will not be soon forgotten, but he changed a lot of people's lives. And this was a great individual, and, he will be missed more than life itself. And, we all hope that he doesn't feel what he felt leaving this world. We hope he's in a better place, spirit world, whatever you guys believe out there. We hope that he's in a better place, and he will be sorely missed.
No doubt, man. I think well said. R.I.P. Going to be missed by a lot of people. A lot of people showing support, showing love.
Yeah.
Is that kind of where you want to close on to there?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, man.
Yeah, man. So that happened last week, last Tuesday, and you've been dealing with that all week, leading up to the ceremony or the send-off on Saturday. And tumultuous, dude. Just been, I don't even know any other words. I text you, I text Robin. I don't have any, as a friend, I don't have any words, dog. Yeah. I don't, especially as someone that's kind of gone through it. Not, I wouldn't, again, it's not the exact same thing, but dating a girl that was going through a father that committed suicide, there's a big time parallel there between what I dealt with and what you dealt with. And I just remember where I was at in life, and I wasn't even close to where I am now. Wasn't even close. Not the guy I am now, not as mature enough, not just have grown so much. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like you're in a lot better place to handle it. Yeah. You're in a lot better place to handle it. Totally. And that's kind of what I would say about that, man.
I love that family, and I love Robin. I really do, man. Great person, and if I can find anything great out of this, I just hope to be closer to that family, and I hope to be closer to Robin. And I'm already seeing figments of that already. And one person gone, what does that change, and how you deal with that, and how you make yourself and your relationship in this case better. I think there's a lot of opportunity here.
It's interesting when certain things happen, what it makes you see and how it opens your eyes. Yeah. It could be the littlest thing sometimes, and it's eye-opening. if you're a person that thinks about stuff. And I don't think I was back in the day. I don't think I was someone that really looked at things and was cognizant of what I was actually doing or my actions or how they affected other people or what's going on. So now that I am, the littlest things can be such eye-opening experiences, or the biggest things like this situation can be an eye-opening experience and such a learning experience overall. I had quite the learning experience myself this weekend, man. You and I have kind of talked about it. I don't want to, it's really weird how this stuff all has just compounded. But I told you a couple weeks ago about the argument with my dad on the phone and all the stuff that he's going through. And everything that him and my family and stepmom are going through and dealing with in their relationship, to this now happening to you. And then this weekend, it just gets worse.
Yeah.
As my girlfriend gets in a car wreck, not hurt. She's okay.
Okay.
But she was under the influence. Stupid. Not smashed, not drunk, just stupid. Had a few drinks, not paying attention to the road, fumbling with the phone, doing some other stuff. Gets in a wreck. And now it's like, man, it was a whirlwind for me this weekend. I'm trying to deal with this on Friday night. This stuff happens. Your stuff's going on. I'm dealing with a ton of other stuff emotionally and in my personal life. So it's like, man, what is happening here? How does this even,
Yeah.
So that's a huge deal for our relationship. And I ran the gamut of emotions, dude, from mad to sad to disappointed to why didn't she listen to me? Because I texted her a couple of different times like, hey, are you sure you're good to drive? If you need anything, let me know. And she only had a couple drinks. So when she texted me back, like, it was she was there 3-4 hours, maybe a little longer. And she had a couple drinks while she was there. Like, she wasn't fucking smoked. She wasn't, it's just.
A lot of us do that.
Exactly.
A couple drinks, we're there multiple hours. Shouldn't be a big deal.
Just a poor decision, especially when I was offering the olive branch so many times. That's what really disappointed me and made me and kind of hurt my feelings about it.
It's a little hard to understand.
It's hard to understand. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand. And we've gone through our problems just like any other relationship. We've had issues. We've had things that we've had to talk about. And I brought up a lot of stuff on the cast before, and we've gone back and forth. But I've fucked up a bunch in the relationship too.
Sure.
In the beginning, I told some lies that were stupid, that messed up the relationship in the beginning. I made her feel crazy in certain situations. I made her feel certain ways because I wasn't being real. I wasn't being authentic, and I messed up. Now that it's on the flip side and she's messed up, she supported me through that stuff. It took a little bit. She didn't ridicule the shit out of me. She didn't beat me into the ground. She definitely said her piece and fired on me a little bit, but it was well deserved. It's you're getting that out. That's got to go somewhere. That frustration, that venting's got to go somewhere. Vice versa, I kind of did the same shit to her. Even last night, just up to last night, just voicing my frustration with it. Like, man, how did this happen? Like, how this is going to affect the relationship so much. How are you driving? How are we going to see each other? I'm going to be picking you up and chauffeuring you around. Like
the most basic things have now changed dramatically.
Changed so much, man. And that's the thing. She's a great person that just made a mistake.
Yeah.
She made a mistake, and unfortunately, it was a huge mistake. But dude, I love the shit out of that girl. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bail on her.
Right.
I'm not going to jet out. And she didn't do that to me, man. And that's where I sit now. And I look at this almost like I was telling you, like as a big time learning situation. Drinking has been a little bit of not necessarily an issue in our relationship, but I don't really drink anymore.
Sure.
I'm not really a drinking guy. I'm the same thing. I'll have a cocktail with dinner, maybe 2 cocktails, but I eat dinner and stuff. She'll have a couple cocktails, but she doesn't eat. So that's a situation that she kind of gets in.
Yeah.
And then she gets a little bit too faded, or she gets, not really paying attention or not cognizant of what's going on. And that's happened a few different times. And maybe I think it's so weird to say this, dude, but like, this is what needed to happen. Like in a weird, roundabout, universal way, this is what needed to happen. Like how this went down, I'm so thankful she wasn't hurt. Nobody got hurt. It wasn't anything, a bunch of cars. It wasn't anything too crazy. It was just rear-ended someone at a light, looking at the phone or whatever the case may be. But for me, it's like, man, she is going to, I think she's going to come out on the other side so much better. Like not only a better person, but better in our relationship, growth, like everything. I think she's going to come out so much different and come out of the wash so much different. And it's easy. It would be super easy for me to be like, and I had this feeling like, what the fuck are you doing? I told you everything. I gave you options for a ride. I kept checking on you. I asked if you're okay.
Yeah.
I asked like, what time are you going to be home? What time should I expect you? You know, like I tried to make sure and check in on everything I could. And at that time, there was just no getting through to her. We had gotten in an argument earlier in the day, and she was in that mode that I just talked about earlier, the mode that I used to be in, the mode where you don't want to listen. No one can get through to you. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what the subject is. And so that was super hard. Yeah. The fact that she was in that mode and then made that crucial mistake. And it's like, look, I'm standing here with my arms open, like waving, like I was here. I was trying to stop you. Had stop signs up. You were just blowing through them. Like I was fucking here, dude. Yeah. You know, and that's what's hurtful.
There's almost rejection in that.
That's what's hurtful about it. And she knows that. She's crushed. Yeah. She's crushed. And she's crushed about the way she's acted in certain situations. It's kind of opened her eyes. The conversations that we've had since then, it's opened her eyes to like, damn, I really fucked up here. Yeah. Just like it did in the beginning of our relationship when I was lying and doing dumb shit. Yeah. You know, I had to look at myself and be like, damn, is this really what I want to do to the person that I love and the person that I care about? Is this how I want to treat them? Is this how, do I really respect her like this? Mm-hmm. Do I really, why would I lie to her then if I did? I shouldn't be lying to her. Yeah. If you're going to have a best friend and a partner, you shouldn't be doing that shit. That's not ever going to be good. It's not ever going to be good for anyone. And so I had to fucking buckle down and take that shit on the chin, take all the madness from her, take her scolding me, deal with it, apologize as much as I could, and try to move forward. Mm-hmm. And at some point, you're going to have to just both move forward regardless of what the situation is. You can't keep going back months later or even weeks later. It's going to take a few days. It's going to take a little bit to kind of get through this. But there's no need for me to keep going back and beating her down, and throwing verbal jabs and being like, well, you didn't listen to me and you fucked up. This is all your fault. You're so stupid. Like, what's the point of that shit, man?
Are you going to live in the past or are you going to move forward?
Right.
Because if you can move forward together, great, then do it. If you're going to live in the past, the relationship will not live.
And I told her the same thing when that happened. Yeah. So I need to be the same way. Yeah. If I'm being 100% authentic with her, I need to be the exact same way. I just need to support her and do whatever I can to be there for her through this situation. Even though I feel slighted, I feel like she fucked up.
She blew me off. She rejected me.
Exactly.
She didn't take the help. Yeah.
And the fact that she's not like denying it, the fact that she's like, I totally see what you're saying now. Like, it sucks it took this, but I fully understand. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from in these certain situations. When you say that I wasn't there for you, or I jumped off the team, or I didn't support you, she understands where I'm coming from. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted her to understand that I'm not just over here being a dick. Like, I'm looking out for you. I'm on your team. I'm trying to support you. I'm trying to be there for you. Don't push me away. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's like the kind of thing I really wanted her to realize. And I think she is. And I think she does. She's super remorseful. It sucks. Obviously, you're super remorseful after anything like this. If you fuck up, you're always super remorseful. Well, not always, but I think if you're trying to move forward, you are super remorseful. And you have to take it on the chin. You have to take the L because you caused it. And that's the thing, too, is now she's very trying to get through it on her own. She's like, I don't want you to have to be driving me around. I don't want you to have to worry about this. I don't want this to bleed into any facet of your life as far as inconveniencing you. Well, it's already inconveniencing me. I'm not going to be able to see her as much. That sucks. But we've had our issues. We've had our issues in the past. We've gone through trials and tribulations. And just stuff like this that looks like the bleakest, the darkest cloud at the time. You've got to just look for the rays of sunshine peeking through. Yeah. You've got to just look and say, yo, it's coming. It's going to get better. And give her the benefit of the doubt that things are going to change and things are going to turn around, especially when we're not drinking anymore. Mm-hmm. The fact that she's like, hey, I don't really give a shit to ever drink again. Like, I don't need it. It's not positive for my life. You're not bringing it into it's not really a part of your life. We're speaking about me. So she's kind of thinking like, why does it need to be a part of my life? We're doing this shit together. Right. And I have no problem supporting her because I could go a year without drinking. I don't care. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't matter to me that much. Yeah. And not a lot of good shit happens with drinking. It just doesn't. I've had some good times with friends and stuff, but I've had a lot of really bad times. And I would say 25% of good times, 75% bad times. Yeah. They've ended stupid. Whether it's dumb fights on the phone, whether it's lying, whether it's missing work the next day, whether it's just dumb shit, dog. Throwing up, getting sick, whatever the case may be.
Usually the bad times
I would
happen
say-
after that next morning after.
Right.
Oh my God. You know, you look over. Oh, did I do that?
No doubt. And I would say I've
What
had
did
more
I
bad
say?
times.
Yeah. What did I text? Oh my God. People texting when they're drunk. Oh, not
Yeah,
good. Never
right.
good. So
that was kind of my weekend, man. I just kind of wanted to get that out there. I had to get it off my chest. And I told her, I was like, yo, I don't know exactly what I'm going to say. I don't know what's going to go down. But I got to get it off my chest. I've got to get that out, because talking about it's the only way. I can't keep it bottled up. Just like I said, if I keep that shit bottled up, that's when it stays bottled up and then just explodes and I break down or I blow up, and I don't want either of those. I just want to get it out and voice it and try to look at the situation as best as I can and move forward.
Yeah.
And that's what she's wanting too, I'm sure. She doesn't want to keep being reminded that she fucked up. She doesn't want to keep being reminded that she made a mistake. I don't want that when I make a mistake, and I know I'm bound to make plenty more mistakes in this relationship. But I think we're on a really good path, is what I would say.
good.
I think even though you have this setback was for a reason. Like, dude, I'm telling you, the path we were on, where with certain things that bothered me, was just, it was going to come to a head sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
And we've communicated about it. We've talked about it before, but nothing really changed. And I think this is going to be that change. This is going to be that, the thing we need to really break through and grow this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that all happened, man. I'm glad everybody's safe.
Right.
And I'm glad nobody was, severely injured, that kind of thing. And,
Just a bad mistake, dude.
Yeah,
A very bad mistake, a really shitty mistake.
Yeah, it sounds like this can be a great lesson, though, and like you're alluding to maybe even, not that you want something like this to happen, but, again, to either strengthen the relationship, or these type of situations can also make you go the total opposite way as well. But sounds like you guys have a good foundation. Sounds like you guys have a good plan in place, and that may change here and there given the situation and the dynamics that come with it. But it sounds like you guys have a good plan in place, and really at the foundation of everything is support.
That's what I told her yesterday.
I can't not be with this person.
Right, and that's I said, I was like, it would be easy to just keep being mad or or bail on you or
thanks for not
keep
listening. See you later.
ridiculing, whatever. Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. You did this to yourself, kind of thing.
This is all your fault.
Figure
Bye.
it out. Yep. It would be so easy to do that because you're so frustrated. But at the end of the day, it's not. If you really love the person, that's not getting you anywhere.
Yeah.
If you really care about them, like you say you care about them. I'm always the guy that says saying sorry is kind of bullshit. Sorry is actions to me. I want to see actions and I want to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel when you're actually sorry. When you say sorry to someone, you don't just get rewarded with okay, yeah, it's fine, or accepting that apology. You need to make them feel that. You need to do everything you can to show them you're sorry, not just saying sorry and expecting them to take the apology or take you back or it's okay. I come from, are you really sorry?
Yeah.
And if you are, I better feel it. If I don't feel it, how sorry are you?
Right.
And that's the way I look at it, man. And I feel that she's really sorry. We've been in arguments before where I've called her and I'm like, bullshit.
You about that action.
Doesn't feel sorry at all to me.
You about that action,
You don't
boss.
this doesn't feel sorry, but this legitimately feels sorry, man. It feels remorseful, feels sorry, and it feels like someone that just made a super bad mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a great person, and I'm not bailing out on her for making a mistake.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I think if shit continues and stuff, goes a different way, that's a different conversation that has to be had. But I think if you really care and you want the relationship to move forward, you got to do everything you can before you're giving up or before you're bailing out.
No, I totally agree. I'm excited, even with the detriment of what transpired. I'm excited for you guys and your relationship. I'm excited for the future.
I was just going to say the same about yours, man. Yeah. It sucks that what happened, but I feel like for some reason it's going to pull you guys closer.
Yeah.
And not for some reason, but in a weird way, in a weird roundabout way. Yeah, it's gonna pull you guys closer.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, let's kind of just end on that. Weekends were sorry, not end on that, but let's move on from that. Our weekends were a little nuts.
Yeah.
Little crazy. We do have some sneaker stuff we want to jump into. Obviously, your YouTube comments.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else we got here. NBA All-Star stuff.
Yeah.
Before we get into NBA All-Star Weekend, we can transition into that. But it's funny. I'm listening to an interview of David Alan Grier. You know him from SNL.
Yeah,
old school.
I know him from In Living Color.
So over the
Back in the
weekend,
day.
I'm relaxing. I'm trying to consume some content, and I'm just trying to wash my mind.
Right.
So yesterday, I'm listening to an interview with him, and he's talking about a little bit about All-Star Weekend and how he remembers this story from back in the day. And this story cracked me up so much that I wanted to bring it to you and basically tell you guys the story. So David Alan Grier is in Minneapolis, NBA All-Star Game like 1994. NBA All-Star Game was in Minneapolis. Prince was, I think, doing some shit for it, whatever. And he was talking to this dude that was Prince's tour manager at one time. And he's like, yo, dude, you're never going to believe this story. And he tells him, he calls the tour manager like, yo, Prince calls me at like 3 a.m. He's out in this studio that we built out in Minnesota. And now it's like a suburb, but back then it was like cornfields out there. Like it was nothing. They built this super nice building, super nice studio. You would never know it was a studio driving by. And that was Prince's kind of like little studio or hangout. Like he did his thing there. So he's over there and he calls and he's like, I thought he was calling to say, I want to do a rehearsal. That's how Prince would talk. When he would talk on the phone, when he would talk to you in private, he was really, really light like this.
That guy was always sexy.
He was kind of like this.
Always.
I want to. So So he says, I'm thinking he called me. I want to do a rehearsal. Mm-hmm. So I answer the phone. Yo, what's going on? Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. There are motherfucking voices coming from the motherfucking walls. Now, sorry about the cussing. This is how the story goes. So Prince tells his tour manager that. He's like, there are motherfucking voices coming from the motherfucking walls. You motherfuckers better get over here. So he's like, all right, cool. So I don't really know what's going on. I go to the door. I knock on the door. Prince opens up. Full white satin pajamas.
Wow.
White satin do-rag. Full makeup. Hair permed. White satin high heel boots. This fool just shows up to the door like that 3 a.m, dog. Like, and he's like, yo, what's up, man? What's going on, bro? I told you, there's motherfucking voices coming from the motherfucking walls. So he's like, all right. So he comes in. He's like, where? Like, what's going on? You know? So they call. He's like, So he goes in. He's like, Prince is like, motherfucker, listen. And they start listening, and he's like, we hear these voices. You know, we hear this female voice. So we call hotel security. They come down because there's a hotel right over by. We call the police. We get everyone involved. Everyone's coming through, and they come through and they sweep the whole place, and they find a woman lodged up in the crawl space back behind Prince's bed with a flashlight and a Bible, reading Bible verses, trying to convert Prince, bro. Real story. Real talk. Real fucking talk.
What the hell?
So as they're dragging her out screaming, she's screaming and she's going crazy, you know, with all this Bible stuff and whatever. And as they're dragging her out screaming, the tour manager says Prince is just sitting there as they roll her by, and he's just sitting there at the table smoking with his legs crossed. And he goes, I told you motherfuckers, there was motherfucking voices coming from the motherfucking walls. Oh, dude, I was just dying, bro. Like I was dying laughing so hard. I was walking through Target trying to get like some weekend shopping done, and I'm listening to this interview, got the AirPods in, and I'm just cracking up, bro, because it's Prince. Like you could seriously see Prince doing that. Yeah. You can see Prince being like I said, all dressed, full get up, full makeup, full everything,
and still cool as a cucumber,
ready to go at 3 a.m, dog. There are motherfucking voices coming from the motherfucking walls. It was dude, it was incredible. It was anyways. So that led me into
a soundbite of that.
I know, dude. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh gosh, I was dying. So I listened to that story. That set me right for All-Star Weekend, because I'm like, oh, it's we're going in tonight, All-Star Weekend. How much did you catch of All-Star Weekend? Did you catch the skills competitions? Did you catch the Celebrity All-Star Game? You watched the regular game? How in depth were you on it?
I did watch a little bit of the Celebrity Game. Unfortunately, not a huge fan of that, because it's whatever. It ain't no big deal.
I liked when they had Rock and Jock basketball. What are they doing with that, dog?
Yeah,
can we bring back the Rock and Jock with the damn 40 40-foot hoop or whatever, like way up in the air.
And they did
like 5.
So many different points or whatever, if Bieber's not in it, if Bill Bellamy's not in it, some of these old fools, you know what, man? I'm not interested.
Bieber, old fools?
Dude.
I know you don't mean Bieber as old fools, but Bill Bellamy? Oh, that's way back in the day.
Bill Bellamy. That's when they did the Rock and Jock.
That's what I'm saying. It was Bill Bellamy, Arsenio Hall, like the Olsen twins were out there like in the 90s, dude.
Yeah.
Like anyone that had any 90s clout, you might see Screech out there doing some shit.
So good.
Yeah, for real. Like anyone that had any 90s clout, you were in the celebrity.
The fool that played Urkel.
Right, yeah, exactly.
He definitely was in there.
I hated, dude. MTV used to have so much fire content before they went to all reality all the time.
Yeah.
Like, not only everyone bitches they don't play music videos and stuff anymore. Whatever,
and we were the ones bitching at that time, but they still had good content.
Still had good content. MTV Spring Break, and do they even still do all that shit?
Singled Out.
Bro.
Jenny McCarthy, my first like big time celebrity crush.
No doubt.
Jenny McCarthy.
What was the other dude that hosted with her?
Gosh,
I can't think of his name, dude. And
Chris.
Not Chris Matthews. Chris. Wait, was it Chris Matthews?
No.
Chris. Oh shit. Chris Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick. There it is. Yeah.
Oh, searching the archives, bro. I was racking my brain.
I saw your Rolodex flipping,
dude. Chris Hardwick.
Good. Yeah, dude.
That's hilarious. So yeah, you had him on there. Like I just missed the Rock and Jock shit altogether.
MTV at the beach, just having the performances there.
Yeah,
I miss it, man.
Fire. Okay, so since there was none of that shit, you didn't care about the celebrity game.
No, didn't care.
And then what about the slam dunk or the 3-point contest?
The skills contest, which was won by Jason Tatum. I think he's great. I think he was going against, was it Trae Young from OU, back in the day?
Yeah.
I think those were the two in the finals.
Oh, that's right. And he shot the half-court joint, right?
Yeah, because the rule is you just have to shoot a 3.
Right.
And the first person to make the 3 at the end of the skills challenge wins it. Dude,
so
Jason Tatum was behind
yeah,
and just launches one from half court and goes up. He didn't call bank shot though.
Oh, he didn't call bank.
You got to call bank.
You got to call Banksy.
But yeah, he ended up winning because of that. I'm not a big fan of the skill challenge because you're dribbling, you're going through a little bit of obstacles. It's not that great. The dunk contest is what people want on Saturday night.
Well,
shall we talk about that?
It used to be.
Yeah. I
feel like it kind of fell off the map for a little bit. And now the past couple years,
dude,
it's like the Young Bucks are kind of bringing it back. What do you think? Is that kind of how you felt? Like it was like the Pro Bowl for a minute. It was getting super ridiculed. Everyone's like, why are we even doing it anymore? Yeah. LeBron didn't want to do it. Yeah. I don't think he still ever has done it.
Some of the big dogs, yeah. So we look back at, the Jordans, the Shaqs, even when Kobe did it, it was good then. And then it kind of went to this like downward spiral, just like you said. It was become the Pro Bowl. Nobody's really interested. However, that all changed. 2016. The infamous match between, Zach LaVine, dude, and Aaron Gordon. So at that time, Zach was playing for the Timberwolves.
I remember that one.
Gordon was playing for the Magic. Dude, this is now the staple of what everybody compares a successful, dunk contest versus not. So that contest, man, I mean, they even brought a drone in that contest. Aaron Gordon was jumping over the Orlando Magic mascot, and he jumped over him where, his whole legs and took the ball, went between, and still they were doing unbelievable stuff. Since then, the dunk contest, now that was 2016, so 2-3 years ago. This dunk contest, what I would say, they had some great athletes. Underwhelming is exactly what it was.
Because I saw highlights. I didn't see the contest.
Underwhelming is what it was. And the funny thing is, we'll get back to kind of some of that content and some of the things I liked and maybe some of the things I didn't. I really liked one or two dunks. They did some great tributes, which was cool. I always love that. But, this dunk contest, everybody just kept saying, oh man, this isn't the 2016. We want Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon back. And it's funny because Zach LaVine hinted at another dunk contest rematch with Aaron Gordon on his Instagram post.
Oh, no shit.
So there was a little bit of cryptic message there, but let's get into this dunk contest. So you had a few people. I didn't actually know a lot about these guys. So you had a guy by the name of, I don't know his first name, but Diallo was his second name. He's the Oklahoma City guard. He ended up obviously winning the contest, and we'll kind of tell you why. But some of these guys, dude, like Miles Bridges, how much do you know about him?
Not a ton.
Me either. So I didn't know a lot about these guys. Obviously, Dennis Smith Jr., I thought he was probably going to win the contest and came pretty damn close. But to highlight some of the things that I enjoyed was Dennis Smith Jr. He's awesome, right? You know, pretty smooth talker, pretty badass, pretty versatile, great athlete. He brought J. Cole out. Did you see that?
I did see did he jump over him or he sat him on a chair?
Sat him on a chair, jumped over J. Cole. The problem with this dunk contest, and Dennis Smith was the problem within this as well. Dude, there were so many missed dunks. There were so many missed opportunities where they had to do it over and over and over again. I think Dennis Smith Jr. on two of his two separate occasions and two separate dunks, I think he had to do it 4 or 5 times.
Do you think that's due to the fact that they are trying harder dunks, or are they just not as good?
They're just not
people
as good.
In the past. You don't think
these
they
were not
trying
hard dunks?
Oh, really?
If we're comparing it to the 2016 Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, these were not hard dunks. These were very, very easy dunks.
Are you comparing it to that one because it was kind of recent, or I mean, is that a fair comparison? Because a lot of people regard that as one of the best dunk contests of all time.
Which one?
The Zach LaVine one.
I think it's one of the best of all time.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, is this not really a fair comparison? Like, that's one of the best all time. It's like
everybody's going to do it. You have to have a comparison of something. You have to have the best.
Comparing a Honda to a Ferrari.
Like, but you're going to do it, right? When I buy a car, when I buy shoes, when I buy anything, I'm like, well, I could buy this GR again, or I could save my money and not buy 2 GRs that I think I want and get something fucking nice.
So
right?
I guess my point is, I see what you're saying there.
You see?
But my point is, so is every dunk contest shit? That's not the 2016 one?
No.
You know what I mean?
The answer to that is no, but
Okay.
why this one? Let's not even compare. Let's take the comparison out.
Okay.
This was underwhelming. Dunks were missed. I think the scores were misjudged. I think a lot of these scores were very, very questionable. I don't think they were accurate. The things that they were doing weren't that awesome.
Right.
So what? You're going to jump over Shaq? That is a pretty big feat. I'm not going to lie, because Shaq's a big dude. But what made that dunk so much better was, again, the tribute. Say, where Diallo didn't open up his jersey and be able to see the Superman logo that Shaq is infamous for.
Right.
Did you ever see the episode of the Treehouse? The Treehouse episode where Shaq had this company make him a treehouse?
No.
Dude, everything in this house, from his bed frame to his windows to whatever, all Superman.
From the windows to the wall.
Windows
Superman.
to the wall.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Okay.
it. So everything was. So what made that dunk the best was he opened up his jersey, had the Superman logo, right, and Shaq had his back turned, so you knew it was coming, but he didn't know it was coming.
I saw that. Yeah.
And then he dunks it and puts his whole elbow through, kind of like Vince Carter did back when what he was known for, where he dunks so hard and so high that half his elbow's in there,
Yeah.
right? That was cool, and that's essentially what won him the dunk contest. But also what helped him win the dunk contest was Diallo didn't miss as many dunks as all the others. He didn't have to have 4 or 5 different tries. But the dunks themselves, cool. Do a tomahawk dunk. Cool. Do a 360 dunk. Cool. One
Off
guy,
the backboard,
Collins jumps over a plane, hits the front of the plane with his foot, and then that stops him. So then he looks kind of stupid in the air because he's faltering. Right?
And he had like a cape on, which looked like some floating toilet paper behind him.
Exactly.
It was
yeah.
not good.
He looked like he just got out of the bathroom in a rush.
Right.
Had his flight gear hat on.
His whole thing was he was trying to pay homage to the Wright brothers, right?
Exactly, because of where they were at in the
Right.
Carolinas, right? I
course.
totally get that. And it made sense. The tributes were what was great.
Just wasn't executed well.
Miles Bridges did a tribute to my second favorite basketball player of all time, Larry Johnson. Because they're in
Grandmama,
Charlotte,
yeah.
right? Grandmama does the gold tooth dog, has the Larry Johnson jersey on, but it was just an okay dunk.
Right.
If I'm going to pay tribute to something, I'm going 1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm going 1,000%. They didn't go 1,000%. They missed a lot of opportunities. It took them multiple tries. The dunks were just subpar, and the scores were questionable for what it was.
You see J. Cole try to throw it down?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah.
Not good.
Sucker.
Not good.
He's a sucker.
He got caught.
Yeah.
Wait, he was sucker? Why? He
Nah,
got caught up.
just because he missed. Now, if he wouldn't have had that big ass,
Did he get buckled by the rim, or did he just kind of it just floated off?
I think it just floated off.
That's better than getting.
He didn't get rejected by the rim.
Yeah, that would have been the worst if he got bodied by the rim.
It was a little floater. Now, if he would have taken that triple XL hoodie off, that was pretty fire. Actually, that color. Did you see the hoodie that he was wearing? It was it was almost like a zebra. Dude, I saw a meme compare it to the fruit stripe gum. package because of all the different colors. You ever seen the fruit stripe gum with the zebra?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I do.
That's kind of what his hoodie looked like. And it was like triple XXX.
Yeah, I would
big.
say the fruit stripe gum meets like some Bob Marley
I'd agree with
collab.
that. Yeah.
Fruit stripe gum, Bob Marley collab.
a little Rasta, maybe.
a little Buffalo Soldier. Yeah, a little bit of that.
Well, I didn't go much into this, but I saw on Hypebeast that he just released his own clothing line called Dreamville, I think it was.
I think I did hear that.
So
Yeah.
Ooh, J. Cole?
yeah. So that might have been.
Isn't there
part of
already
his-
what do you mean Dreamville? There's like already a is there already a dream or was that his shit, Dreamville?
I think it was his shit.
I know it's
okay.
a line from one of his songs.
And he had a couple people wearing Dreamville stuff. I
Yeah.
think during his performance.
I think Dreamville was like his little
I don't know. There was just a pop up on Hypebeast.
No, I think he's made it into a
story.
clothing line, but I think that was his little label. You know how like people have
Oh yeah.
their little labels
Yeah.
underneath the big label, Shady Records under Interscope. You know what I mean? I think Dreamville was like his own little
Oh.
thing. Like if you wanted to sign other artists and stuff like that, and then you just turn it into clothing line. Kind of like Most Underrated Podcast. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
Most Underrated Sneaker Channel on YouTube turned into Most Underrated Podcast. Going to turn into Most Underrated Merch. Like just kind of that's the
Yeah, I
brand.
gotcha.
You know? Yeah. Dreamville Records. Yep, that was his thing there, and then he took that and turned it into clothing.
So pretty much that I shit on the
Dunk contest.
the dunk contest. What do you got to say about it?
Like I said, I saw the highlights. I actually thought the last one where he went up over Shaq and got his elbow in the shit was pretty fire. Like he touched Shaq with his hand as he went up, but he didn't brush his head. His like nuts weren't hanging off the back of Shaq's head or anything. It was super clean other than he kind of handed up off of him just a little bit. I thought it was pretty dope.
I thought he wasn't allowed to touch his shoulder, so he touched lower on his back to kind of like give him that.
Oh, is that the
extra-
rule? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I was hearing
he got a little extra.
So
bump.
they didn't disqualify him for that?
No.
Oh.
because he didn't touch his shoulders.
Okay, so you can touch their back, just not their shoulders. That's the
I don't
rule?
know. Like all I saw about it was like a short part about them just talking about how he wasn't allowed to touch his shoulders, but he touched lower on his back, so it counted for some reason. That's just another snippet I just caught, but
As I was watching the highlights, I definitely thought that dunk was one of the better ones out there.
It was.
I mean-
it was the one that won it, the competition for him, based off of everything.
You see the 3-point contest at all?
I didn't watch much of that. I usually love that, but I saw that Curry made Stephen Curry made a good last minute show of it to try to almost win it. But
Dude, I thought he had him.
Yeah.
I thought he was lighting him up. That's like the part I did see.
Did you?
And
Who did he lose to?
Joe Harris, dude, out of Brooklyn.
Ugh.
How many of you guys know Joe Harris, rocking the beard and shit?
Yeah.
Just out there draining threes, white guy.
Yeah.
Joe Harris.
Didn't know.
Could it get any more white than Joe Harris out there? It was crazy, dude.
Huh.
I know. I was like, who the hell's Joe Harris? This fool's shooting. And it's funny. If you look up 3-point percentages in the league, I think he's either 1 or 2.
Is he?
He's like top. Like you should know Joe Harris. Like I think actually he's higher than Steph Curry. I think he was 47% and Steph was 45%.
Wow.
Clay's like 43. So it was like, damn, I got to look it up. But yeah, dude, Joe Harris out of Brooklyn. What did you think of the game?
The game. I actually enjoyed the game. And
I don't know how Giannis and those fools didn't hang on.
I know.
I'm so disappointed when the Joker and all those fools, they just let off the gas. I don't know if it was them or the coach or what.
Dude, they had the lead in the whole game.
Over 20 points, 30 points.
But what are you gonna do when Dollar Dame gets a little hot? Did you see him start making
Yeah.
those threes?
Oh, yeah.
That guy caught fire so fast.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do when Dame catches fire like that. The defense was a little bit better, and they all alluded to the defense getting better in the fourth quarter. But I'm surprised that
I
Team
missed
Giannis
a
gave
little
it
bit.
up.
I missed a little bit of the fourth quarter because I was trying to watch UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to watch a little bit of the undercard there.
Sure.
With the UFC stuff. I knew WWE was going on. I was really trying to stay off of Twitter so I wouldn't get killed with info I didn't want to see yet.
Right.
It's just so hard, dude. Sports, especially on a night like that, because you want to be on Twitter. You want to be interacting with people. You want to be talking about what's going on.
Yeah.
And you can't because there's 2 other things you're trying to watch.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to watch one of them at least on delay.
Yeah.
And if not both, 2 of them on delay. So you're going back and forth, and it just, I don't know, created, as cool as it was to have a lot of stuff going on, it created a little bit of a bad experience because it wasn't, I would have liked it to start in the morning, in the afternoon,
Sure.
and then in the night.
It was-
So I
it
can
was
just
all at
consume
once.
each thing. Right, yeah. It was like you waited all day, and then you just got smoked with a bunch of shit.
Totally. Your favorite dunk of the night during the All-Star game?
Oh, definitely the bounce pass was the most fire.
That was fire. What about the last-minute dunk bounce pass to Curry himself throws the backwards dunk.
I didn't see that one.
Dude,
I'll have to look it up.
that was pretty fire because Curry obviously is not known for dunking. He's dunked like maybe 4 times total in his career during a game.
Yeah.
So he did a bounce pass to himself and then caught it backwards and came with the backwards
threw it
dunk,
down?
dude, which was pretty sick, man, because nobody expected that. But that was the last, like within the last minute of the game.
Oh, really?
It was pretty fire.
I'm gonna look it up here.
But the bounce pass, dude, from Curry to Giannis, dude, how Giannis had to get so high and just slams it down, that was pretty sweet.
Oh, yep, I see it. The bounce pass to himself, and then he goes up and does a little reverse.
Does the reverse jam,
back
slam. That was pretty sweet, dude. KD, MVP. Well-deserved or no?
I didn't see enough of the game. Like I said, I was flipping back and forth. I was locked in on the first half pretty much. But once UFC started, I was back and forth quite a bit. So I was just kind of scoreboard watching and, just on commercials during UFC, that kind of stuff. It was more in and out.
You obviously have to give the MVP to the winning team. Now, I thought Giannis, was probably a bigger MVP candidate. I think Dame was probably in the talks. Middleton was in the talks. Some of the big names weren't. Dame and Middleton, you wouldn't expect that. You'd expect the Russell Westbrooks and things of that nature. But KD, again, just clutch, man. Coming down the line, he's clutch with the Golden State and owes nobody no apologies for who he is. Arguably, I think one of the top 2 in the league. He's just that clutch. He's that good. He's the person you want to have the ball, the last minute of the game. Harden had a good game, but his was mostly at the beginning of the game. Those step-back threes are just phenomenal that he does, man. He gets people off balance, and there's nothing you can do with that. But KD, even though he's not as maybe entertaining to watch, he's more clutch than most. He's more athletic. He's the guy that you want at the end. So I would have liked to give it to somebody who was more entertaining, and Durant's not. Durant's going to be that guy who's going to win the game for you, and that's what he did.
What about the Joker, dude?
Yeah.
Jokic, maybe I don't even know if people listen to the cast. If you guys are up on Jokic, we're obviously up on him because he's from here in Denver, he's from here, but he plays for the Nuggets. So we see him all night in and night out. We see the kind of ability the guy has. It's freaky, the amount of triple doubles he has, and it's so early in his career. I saw a thing on Twitter the other day that he's on pace to shatter Wilt's record for triple doubles by the time he's like before 30, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
He's going to beat his record. So if he beats his record before 30 on triple doubles, imagine what he's going to get to. That is shattering.
Yeah.
If he plays till, a normal basketball career, 38, 39, if he plays, I guess that's not normal. It's a little late.
Sure.
But there's guys that do it. It's a lot more
old
common
is
in the NBA.
LeBron?
What's that?
How old
35, I believe.
I think
34, 35.
I think one of the oldest people in the league is probably either Dirk Nowitzki or Vince Carter at 41, I believe, Vince Carter.
Dirk, I would say Dirk or Vince for sure.
Yeah. What'd you think about Dirk, dude? Hitting, what he hit, 369. He either hit 4 threes. I think he hit 4 threes.
Yeah.
Dude, what a good showing for him,
Dirk
man,
is 40, dude.
Yeah.
He'll be 41 in June.
And Vince Sanity's already 41.
Yeah.
So I think those are about your 2 oldest in the league.
Kobe
Dirk was out there hitting
42?
shots too.
Kobe was damn near 40. I don't know exactly what he was, between 38 and 40.
Let's just say the Joker plays till 35.
Yeah.
And he's at a high level still, you know what I mean?
Incredible.
It just to even reach that company and where Will is.
Yeah.
In triple doubles, dude.
To be in that same name, yeah, or in that same category. Huge for him.
I'm trying to find the damn let me see. The triple doubles, dude. Wilt's just ridiculous. Wilt played before the 3-point line too. Wilt played with a lot of people don't give Wilt the credit he deserves because he played with so many. He was just like a man among boys in his day. You know what I mean? But
oh yeah, and Dirk had 3 3-pointers and from super way deep too. So yeah, good for him, man. Last season in the league, LeBron to Wade. Wade to LeBron, with off the back rim, which we've seen, or off the backboard, which we've seen, some of his postered shots from his time in Miami. But it was cool to see them kind of go out with one more alley-oop, and then Dirk going out in style with the multi-threes from deep. There was some cool stuff, man. But, dude, Giannis, next level.
Dude,
that guy's incredible, man.
Yep.
The Greek Freak is definitely a great name for him because that guy is intense. That guy, I thought it was going to be just Giannis versus
Well, that's
LeBron.
what kind of confused me. It seemed like Giannis was really competitive.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the Joker was super competitive in the beginning, which is what I love about him.
Yeah.
He's kind of foreign. He just doesn't understand taking it easy.
Sure.
Like he doesn't understand going light. So that's what I love about him. And I see that here in the Nuggets uniform. And that's why they've come back and won some games from 25, 30 points down this year that they should not have won. They should have had no business coming back and beating Utah on a random Tuesday night, down 28 in the fourth or in the halfway through the third, and somehow they come back and win the game. And I think that's attributed to the Joker and his competitive spirit. So if you would have asked me between the way the game started out and the competitors on that on Team Giannis, I thought for sure they were going to win that game. I would have put a bunch of money on it.
Sure.
I just didn't think like I said, I tuned out in the second half a little bit because I was flipping back and forth. Did they pull him out? Did the Greek Freak stop playing as much? Did Joker stop playing as much? What happened to that competitive fire? Or did they kind of just like, was the Joker like, not to give a bad Joker impersonation, but was he like, oh, okay, they're not playing that, they're not, playing that hard. Everyone's fucking out here kind of joking around, basically. Like, what was he thinking?
Yeah,
was he he was like, okay, they're joking, I'm going to stop playing as hard.
Right. Yeah, they took the Joker out late throughout the game.
That's why they lost.
And then Giannis wasn't seen as much during the end of the game as well.
That's why they lost right there.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. LeBron still being LeBron and doing what he does.
Because regardless of the game or not, did you see how Jokic was playing in the beginning? He was like, I don't give a shit. All-star game or not, you fools are running around. I'm going to be back here playing D. I'm going to be launching full court passes. I'm going to be running down here catching full court passes for dunks.
Yeah.
Like, he was competitive, dude, in the beginning. He was not wanting to lose. He was talking a little shit to the ref. Did you see that? Dude, he was getting serious.
On the N1?
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally. On the N1. And then he kind of like started laughing, but you could tell he was there to play.
Yeah.
He was not there to be messing around. And I think there's a pretty good amount of money on the line.
There is for the
winning team.
Well, Clay even said that because Clay Clay lost last year. His team lost last year and they won obviously this year. And he's like, I'm not trying to leave that money on the table.
What was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
No, I'd have to look
it's interesting. So we know there was a good amount of money there on the line. But
what about the halftime show? J. Cole.
Dude, I thought it was so fire. I think everyone did. If you didn't like that halftime show, I don't know what you're doing.
Sure.
It was. The thing that was so cool, it wasn't only the performance from J. Cole that was so cool to me. It was the fact that everyone was engaged.
Yeah.
Everyone was involved. Every person in there, dude, it felt so unified. It felt like every person in there was locked in and rocking with J. Cole. Mm-hmm. He commanded the whole arena. There was no BS. There was no he shouldn't be here. There was no who is this guy.
Right.
There was no he sounds like shit.
Very organic.
So that's the word I'm looking for.
Very organic.
The most organic halftime performance in any sport that I've seen in I can't tell you how long.
Yeah.
It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel awkward. There was nothing about it that felt weird.
This was the halftime show for the Super Bowl that we missed.
Right. Exactly.
This was it.
Exactly. NFL should definitely take some notes. Play to your audience.
Yeah.
Listen to your fans. If you're in a city that's big on hip-hop, if you have a legendary hip-hop artist from that city or multiple legendary hip-hop artists from that city, North Carolina does, and it was J. Cole. J. Cole's from the area. That's the guy. And look how they embraced him. Look what they did. Can you imagine if, like we talked about, they would have done an Outkast or a Dungeon Family or Ludacris or a huge melody and mashup of all the Atlanta hip-hop?
Killed it.
What the Super Bowl halftime show would have been?
Dude, they even used their expertise in this. Anthony Hamilton did the national anthem.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
He's a local guy.
Yep.
And he totally did a whole different rendition, but it made sense, dude, for the NBA.
Yeah.
Way better than Fergie.
way better than Fergie. It's kind of funny. I went back and listened to that Fergie. I've listened to that a few times, like months down the road, or I've just heard it. It's come up. It wasn't that bad. Like, she got killed in the moment, but if you go back and listen, there's actually parts where it's really soulful and it's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's just our ears are not used to that slow arrangement that she did. And the
I was uncomfortable a couple times.
In Anthony Hamilton?
No, in Fergie's.
That's what I'm saying. In the moment, yes.
I was uncomfortable.
In the moment, yes. When you're watching it and it's awkward in the arena and people are looking and they're showing players, yes. But if you just go back and listen to it on a random freaking Wednesday and it just pops up on your IG feed or it's in your headphones or someone else plays it on a talk show you're listening to, it's not really that bad, dude. It's really not.
I'll
Like,
have to take another look.
yeah, just it's not.
And then
awful.
hopefully I can come into the cast and shit on you. I'm hoping.
If you want awful, go look up Carl Lewis.
No, Carl Lewis was
That's
awful.
the worst I've ever heard in my
No,
life.
Roseanne Barr.
Equally as bad.
Yeah.
Those are some of the worst. That's Fergie wasn't on that level.
No.
But I mean, I get it. You know, the arrangement was not for that setting.
I think she went for it and she fell flat. That's what I
Took
think.
a risk, right? That's what I'm saying. It
That's what I
wasn't the
think.
arrangement wasn't for that setting.
Yeah.
But I think overall it was not that bad.
Yeah.
Hamilton tore it up though.
Hamilton tore it up.
Killed it.
You know who
did he just sing or and what did he sing over a beat? Did he have his guitar? How was it?
No, he just sang over
Just
sang over the arrangement. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there was not a live like trumpet player or any piano or nothing live going on.
Can't even remember now. He might have. Yeah, he had some
He
accompaniment.
was like at a NASCAR race and he just sung over the track.
No, he had some accompaniment.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know.
I was gonna say.
I don't remember now what it was exactly. So, but yeah, he sang over some with some accompaniment, but just killed it, and it was mostly his rendition of it. Just the way it was done was super cool, man. And I think that goes to the NBA, dude. Just knowing the right people for the right squad, the locals, dude. They just really use their head. I feel
You wouldn't
like
have been saying that last year though. So they got it right this year. But
they got it right this year.
so
for
you're
sure.
saying just the NBA,
Yeah.
they don't always get it right either. I think you're giving them a
Right.
little too much credit.
Yeah.
I think you're excited over a good night last night. They had a nice night. Let's
Yeah.
be real, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
give credit where it's due. But
and I'm
you're saying the
excited-
NBA just kills them, man. They're just right. But then you're shitting on Fergie.
Hey.
So, I mean, they didn't do all the right things there. They had obviously the wrong person
They
in
did
that
multiple
situation.
right things though. They brought Bruce Buffer in, dog.
They should've-
Are you ready?
if they really wanted a good show, they should have brought Bruce Banner in.
Bruce
But
Banner.
Anyways,
Dude, they did everything right.
last night, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They did, but not always.
Not
you're,
always.
You're ready to crown them.
No,
you want to crown them, then crown their
They
ass.
crowned their ass. Playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't think they. I think the NBA had a great night last night. I think
did,
they
and
did all
enjoy
the
it.
stuff correct. I'm with you.
I'm not a big Meek Mill fan.
Oh,
And-
I didn't see
he's-
that. I heard
he's-
it was not good. What? So
I
maybe
thought-
they didn't do everything right. What
I thought it was not great, and he's a Philly guy. He's not a local there. But Meek Mill's a big basketball fan, dude. He supports the hell out of Philly. Philly welcomes him. He can do anything. He gets away with murder in Philly. Like Meek
Dude.
Mill is Philly.
They
Right.
sent him a helicopter to send him to the 76ers game.
Right, of course. So
Nope.
what are you saying? What's the issue here? They weren't in Philly. So
Yeah.
is that why you're saying he fell flat, or what he did fell flat, or
I'm just
what did
not-
he do? Did he perform at the beginning?
He did.
What did he perform?
I don't even know Meek Mill's songs.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just
Okay.
not. I'm just not a fan.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
I didn't like the performance. He had his like the bulletproof jacket kind of thing, that Drake wears. He had his a yellow jacket over that. Had his chains, that kind of stuff. I don't know, man. I didn't think it was a great performance. And what do I know? I know hip hop. I know old hip hop, but this new style, like how I talked about J. Cole in one of the last casts, that I don't like what he's doing with his new stuff. I like his old stuff. I love his mixtapes. I love, his, because he was more hip hop to me. But now he's kind of getting the best of both worlds. He's getting some of that auto tune that we've heard in his new track that's really popular. But dude, he murdered it. Meek Mill, I just can't get into. He sounds a bit like Kanye. He sounds like a broken down Kanye to me. Is what Meek Mill sounds like.
Yeesh.
So I'm not a big fan of his music, but his performance wasn't mind blowing. It wasn't super captivating. But again, I think that could have just been me, and just being not a huge Meek Mill fan.
From what I'm looking at here,
What are you seeing, man?
obviously I'm not listening to the show, but I'm just seeing how it went down. It almost just looks too it almost just feels like it's too clean because he's standing down at the end of the stage and he's got dancers next to him and it just doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel, dude, J. Cole shit, that's the difference. It felt so authentic. It was him with the people. It was just him out there with a microphone in the middle of the crowd rocking by himself for the first bit of it. Then he walked across and went over to the stage. But still, even at that point, everyone had kind of packed in and funneled into the end of the stage. And there was no dancers beside him. There was no person chewing gum. There was nobody doing anything else. It was strictly him and all his musicians and everything. They were up in the background. And they would show the DJ occasionally and they would show the people rocking. But dude, it was J. Cole on that front stage by himself. There was no confusion. And I think that's what made the difference in performance. Not only that, but he chose great songs to perform too. I really like the song selection J. Cole made.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to speak to the Meek Mill stuff just by looking at it. That's what it kind of looks like to me. It just feels like more of a normal rapper performance. Like I'm too cool for you. I'm going to stay back here. I'm going to stay up on my pedestal. You motherfuckers do a little dancing, shake a little ass. And it just felt not as intimate J. Cole's went over so well, in my opinion, because of the intimacy.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. He had a lot of flames, and he had the backup dancers, some slick moves. I don't know, man.
Slick moves.
I just didn't feel it as
Who
much.
had slick moves? Meek Mill?
Meek Mill.
He had some moves?
He had some moves.
Oh, I didn't see him doing any slick moves. I'm going to have to YouTube that.
And
YouTube
he played
Meek Mill slick moves.
He played
See what
his
comes up.
hits, but his hits aren't my hits. I don't.
Right.
I can't get into it, man. So for me, I don't know. I just thought J. Cole was so much better, and then Carly Rae Jepsen singing the Canadian.
I heard
anthem.
about that. Yeah, I didn't see it.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. I just call me maybe.
Right.
Is better.
Of course, is better.
Is better when she does it.
Oh my God. Okay, are you cool on All-Star Weekend?
I'm good.
Cool. Now
man.
let's move into sneakers, man, so we can we're not too rushed here.
Okay.
So let's jump into sneakers and fashion over the weekend. It's funny, you just actually came in, you were looking at the sneakers app before the show. You're like, dude, these blue chills are dropping on sneakers right now.
Again,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then we saw at the top it said no,
some exclusive access.
exclusive access or something like that. So what? Oh, so then, so this weekend,
Yeah.
on Saturday morning,
Yeah.
I'm dealing with all the BS. I'm dealing with all the nonsense. Wait, no, it wasn't Saturday morning. What am I talking about?
No, that was
Valentine's morning.
Yeah, Valentine's, February 14th. My friend.
Right. Oh, that's what it was. Sorry. So I didn't even have any nonsense. Oh, we didn't do the cast. That's right. We're normally supposed to do the cast on Thursday morning. I woke up early. I saw that they did not. I need to, if I was going to wear them, I need a women's 14.
Yeah.
So somewhere around a men's 12. They obviously didn't go that high. The highest they went was a 12, which I tried to get. So that would be a men's 10 for you. Sold out instantly. Was able to go back in though and cop a women's 8.
Oh,
so
really?
men's 6.5.
Okay.
So I got a women's 8. We'll be able to take a look at them when they come in. So that's kind of why I did it. And obviously the shoe resells for a little bit. So
Sure.
I'm going to try to double up my money on those. I think they're reselling for a little over 3 now.
Okay.
I may hang on to them for a little just because of what the women's shattered backboards did and what some of those women's ones and women's pairs have done. They've just gone up over time. So I might hang on to those. I might just see what the market does. Unless there's something I really, really want that I want to get now, then I'll flip them and double my money up and go grab those. But it's strictly a money grab for me, strictly trying to resell the shoe. And I know we've talked about reselling and stuff on this shoe. I'm not buying something that doesn't really have value. I'm buying something that has a ton of value and reselling it.
Right.
I never have a problem with someone doing that. I have a problem with people buying a shoe that really doesn't have a ton of value. They're going to make $30, $20 on, and then they still won't let you have your size. That's the issue I have. So let's not get it twisted here before you start commenting or franchise they didn't like resale. It's different game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's different variations of the resale game. So that's where I'm at. That's what happened to me with the blue chills. You obviously were dealing with your situation. You probably didn't even try for them. Did you even know what was going on?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
Nope.
Obviously our Valentine's Day stuff didn't go down. I still this is before all my stuff went down over the weekend, so I actually had a really good Valentine's. My girl was super appreciative, did some really cool stuff, so it was nice, man. It was a good time. Gotcha. It was fun.
Yeah, mine. I got Robin and her mom some flowers, obviously, on Valentine's Day. Had those ordered, picked those up, brought those to the house, so that helped a little bit. But dealing with funeral arrangements is brutal,
of course,
on Valentine's Day. So
so you weren't going for those.
So I got a pair of shoes from Robin on Valentine's Day that I wasn't expecting, and she got them so we could take them to our event because we were gonna go see the ice castles in Dillon, right? That kind of thing. She got me, and I'll bring them in next cast. I just didn't.
The Mastermind Vans.
No,
I'm just kidding.
There's this new outdoor UGG boot that is really, really fire.
Really?
And she got me, and I saw them
from the Vape collab.
No hype on these, unfortunately. They are sold out at most stores, Nordstrom, Dillard's, but I saw them in Dillard's, and they kind of look like the traditional, older hiking boot, but the nice leather that UGG uses and the nice like Sherpa fur inside or sheep fur that they use in there. Super comfortable, super nice. And then they have these red laces, which is like the old traditional hiking boot. They just look like a cool ass boot, and they're super warm. And I was like, man, I kind of like those. Not for $200, that's what they retail for.
Yeah.
But Robin was able to get some sort of discount on them. I can't remember, but she got me those for Valentine's Day, so I'll bring those in.
So you said Uggs?
Yeah,
UGG boots.
They're UGG boots. Yeah, I'll we'll take a look at them next cast. I forgot all about that, but I got some shoes, man. I got some shoes in. I did pick up my infrared 6s, so I did double up on those. I was able to pick those up over the weekend.
Have you seen what those are reselling for at all?
Not much. I think $40 roughly over retail.
Think they'll go up?
Eventually,
Yeah.
I think they'll go up a little bit more. Kind of like the Cement 3, the black cements.
Yeah.
That came out last year. They're kind of going up here and there. So,
Where are they at right now?
260ish.
Wow, that's still so low.
Yeah, solo, dolo.
So low.
Yeah, so I got
But that's
some
just
shoes.
saying that with the black cements, with the Concords,
Yeah.
with the 6s, they're just making so many pairs. It's going to take time for them to go up.
Yeah.
They still will eventually go up, but it's going to take time. So
Totally.
go ahead and grab.
So I got some shoes, man. So they finally came in. We've talked about both of them. I'm happy to have them. Now we actually get to kind of look at them in person. So
Dope.
pretty sweet. Hold on.
All right, yeah, grab them. He's getting the boxes and stuff. I see multiple. There's like multiple boxes over there. Kind of like what I was doing last week on the surprise tip. But I'm excited to see these. I wish you would have brought the Uggs, to be honest. But is those ones? Yeah.
Oh, the Uggs are fire.
I got my pair in too, unicorn size, 12 and a half. Just left them on the counter this morning. I was going to bring mine, so I'm glad you brought yours.
Right.
And that is, if you're watching on YouTube, the all red box, the Eddie Huang Ultra Boost. Oh, sorry. Let me get this monster out the way. Step on your, or spill it on your shoes. Dang, you already threw the pink laces in.
Already threw the pink laces
No
because I think those
games.
are the most fire laces. I think just because of it just adds a whole new element to the actual shoe, in my opinion.
Dallas is playing no games here with these joints, man. These are.
It just adds to the.
He's ready to go.
neutrality
I think
it.
contrast. I think contrast is the word we're looking for. I think
Really?
that contrast is phenomenal on those with the pink and then the red, and it
feel like
just fire pops. So
So weird.
I feel like it blends in almost.
That's how I feel. I kind of don't like it.
you know what blends in is the red laces that they come stock with. That's bullshit.
Aren't there some
Ain't nobody
white
want
ones?
those. Yeah, they're black ones, but I don't know, man. I think
I think I might do the blacks.
the pinks are how I need to rock these. That's all I can tell you.
I think
Something
I might
about
do the
it.
blacks.
Perfect because it's like the color of a pig because it's the year of the pig and all, but still.
But yeah, I think
How fire would it have been if they did gold laces with some pink lace tips?
Oh, that'd been
Oh,
awesome.
dude, your torsion is like the paint's missing a little bit on there.
Oh no!
That's all right, man.
Oh,
That's all right.
no,
better
like the
send
only-
them back.
No, okay. The only reason I say that is because the same thing happened at franchise, and I never noticed.
Oh,
that.
is that my pair? Is
Yeah, because
chipped
Jesse
off?
pointed it out and everything, so I like kind of looked at it after hearing about that.
So I would say, let's get into these a little bit. So I wasn't blown away by the quality necessarily, okay? We look at Jordan 1s. We look at leather. So the leather is okay on these. This leather is not like shatter backboard Jordan 1 leather. This
And honestly,
leather
it doesn't even feel like
yeah,
leather.
This leather is like, let's call it pleather instead
what
of
it feels
leather.
like, yeah.
You know, it's not that great. The materials aren't that great. I would say the suede nubuck on the tongue, the extra laces, right? The dust bag, the Chinese barbecue boys. I think those are some of the nicer hits on these. The 1.0 gradient is still nice to have, but this isn't like drop dead awesome quality. I think it's very well done. I think it's very well thought through. The inside of the shoe that is that satin material, I think is really, really nice. But I don't think it's the best quality of Ultra Boost that I've ever seen on the face of the planet. It's definitely not the best quality of leather, but I just think it's well thought out. I think the concept is great. I think the box is great. The dust bag, 3 sets of laces,
Right.
and just the overall, Eddie Wong's Panda logo on one side of the tongue, Adidas on the other one, the Chinese barbecue boys, alluding to obviously his cooking background.
It's Chinny Barbecue Boys.
Is it?
That's what's crazy. Did you see?
missing
I didn't even
S.
see that.
There's no. I know. It's notice it. It's on there.
Chinny
it's
Barbecue
on,
Boys.
It's on. I know, dude. It's so funny. I wonder how
Interesting.
many people have done that because it looks like Chinese, but
Yeah.
it takes you a second to realize
Chinny
there is no
Barbecue
S.
Boys.
At first, I thought these were fake because it was misspelled and everything. I was like, "Fuck."
Huh.
It was so yeah. It says Chinny Barbecue Boys on the box.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm sorry, on the dust bag, and then it also says it on the
On the
inside of the
insole.
shoe.
Mhm.
Exact same thing. Chinny Barbecue Boys.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I
Do,
just kind
do
of
you
looked
know
over
anything about Eddie Huang?
that.
Are you up on
well,
him?
because we talked a little bit about him. So he's an author. He's put out his own book. He's
Yep.
obviously a cook, an entrepreneur. Got his hands on a lot of different facets and things. And I know that obviously his family, a bunch of immigrants that came to the
Yep.
U.S. Outside of that, that's kind of what I know about Eddie.
Yeah. The
Is there something I should know?
no, I was just gonna ask you. You know, do you know what's up with the barbecue spot, or you know where it's at?
I don't.
Anything like that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know much about that aspect, but I do know he is a cook. I do know he's a world-renowned cook. But yeah, he's got a lot of things going on, man.
I think the shoe is dope. I'm with you on the quality. Like it's not bad, but it's not. I think the leather could have been a little bit nicer. I think like on my pair that has the bronze boost, that black cage is just nicer. It's softer. It's just a little nicer. This is like a hard, stiff cage for being leather. Yeah. That's why it makes it feel pleathery. It's not, it's just stiff, dude. Yeah. It almost feels like plastic cage. Like it's a very stiff plastic or pleather or whatever they used here, even though it still does have the tag on it, says real leather. Yeah. But maybe they're talking about this up here because that's what that tag is. When it says it's this material. Do you notice it's like that soft, it's like this up here.
Yeah, they might be alluding to that a little bit. Yeah.
Which, so here's what I would say. I don't like this. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. I know they're bringing that out on a lot of the newer pairs, that ATR kind of guard around the front. I don't want it on this pair.
I think if they would have made that the suede and nubuck, I think that would have been fire.
See, the pairs I've seen that have that with suede, they look like a dad's New Balance to me.
Really?
They just look so, I don't know.
So then, like,
I don't like the ATR stripping unless it's an ATR model.
Huh. Have you seen the Kinfolks? I don't think you've seen that. Have you seen those in person?
Not in person.
So they have that same type of liner, but it's just the suede nubuck. And I think it's done very, very well.
On that one?
But, you either like it or you don't. I get it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It just, it adds a dad element to me. It adds like a... kind of an unnecessary New Balance element, like just like an older, I don't know.
I get that.
Like a walking shoe element to it.
Yeah.
Something about it just turning me off. I
kind of like it. You know me, man. I'm dad shoes. Look at my Prestos.
Right.
Look at my Off-White Prestos.
Yeah.
Best dad shirt shoe of all time.
Dad it out.
Dad it's. For sure. JJ, what do you think?
It's dope, man. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's good to see that Adidas is actually making something quality for once. Yeah. And it's dope.
I think it's done well. I think it's definitely the best Ultra Boost we've had in a while.
Even outside of the quality, you talk about this shoe coming out 2.5 years ago. Oh my God.
Oh, 400 or 500 for sure.
This thing would have been reselling for over a G.
Is it reselling at all right now?
Again, $40, $50 over.
Even for the 12.5?
I don't know about the 12.5. I don't know about the unicorn size.
That's something that
my size.
I told you I'm going to probably hang on to my pair and keep an eye on. Not that I don't want the pair, but I don't know if I have to have the pair. So yeah, I mean, even 12.5, 255 is what it's listed at right now. Someone's got a bid in for 215. So there's really not much on it. Which, like I said, I mean, this is the nicest Ultra Boost or the best Ultra Boost that we've seen in a long time.
All right.
I don't remember.
You ready to see the best 4D of all time so far, in my opinion?
I'm ready. These are the.
You ready to see the Frankenstein baseball stitched, sweet ass 4Ds?
Yeah, and we got to give a shout out to Muzzy on this.
Muzzy, my boy Muzzy.
Let's give Muzzy some hand claps to it for coming through for Dow on the
Muzzy. I thought that was a waterfall.
Muzzy helping me out.
Some shitty hand claps. That's like way too aggressive.
It is.
This is like opening night at the Apollo.
Wait,
this literally sounds like a waterfall.
This reminds me of going to therapy. They have these like wave and wind machines.
Yeah, I might have to find a new hand clap.
Like maybe I'll
just get a sarcastic like golf clap, like a real slow clap. The way John Elway was doing when Tim Tebow was winning games and he didn't want him to win games that year when they won the playoff game. John Elway was like this up in the booth, just slow clapping because he was like, "Fuck you, Tim Tebow, you bastard! I put you in so you would lose every game so we could go draft Andrew Luck, and you're winning games." And you keep winning games every single week. Oh, now you won a playoff game. That doesn't mean shit in Pittsburgh. More slow claps. Every single week, it was just Elway up in the booth like this, dude. So he was clapping, but he was so slow, and you could tell he was so disappointed because that was not the plan. The plan was to put in Tim Tebow and have him lose every game and us to go get Andrew Luck. Suck for luck. That was what we were trying to do. And Elway was like this every week. Nice job, Tim. So, I need to get one of those. Anyways.
How about give me some claps on these? So these are, finally, the ZX 4000 4Ds.
The waterfall claps.
I
think it's because they never taper off. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I was ready to sell half my collection for these. This was a must-have shoe for me.
Let me see this.
I love the color blocking. I love the colorway. I love the 4D.
This is totally your style shoe.
There is nothing that, I mean, the cream white toe box, I'm not a big fan of just because you can get it jacked up. But from the leather hits to just the color, the old nostalgic colors, dude, that turquoise seafoam green, the shitty Dollar Tree laces.
Dude, these are,
They're the worst laces I've ever seen.
These are bad, bro.
They get these at the Dollar Tree?
Those are bad.
Bad, bro.
Wow.
Bad.
Those are bad.
But look at the leather on it. Look at the suede on it. Look at the mesh on it. Look at the prime knit on it. I mean, look at the bottoms. The bottoms just look so, it's such a retro looking shoe.
That's what I was just going to say.
And I love it. And it's retro, but with the newest technology. And I'm a geek with technology. I just love new technology. And obviously 4D is the wave of the future. Eventually you'll see flagship Adidas stores being able to go in there, measure your foot, and get a 4D that is built specifically for you. Until then, you're going to pay some good amount for resale to have these shoes. But I was able to get these at retail. But retail on these bad boys, $350.
Oh, damn.
That really hurts.
It was like $382 shipped.
And you paid what?
$382 shipped.
Oh, that's what you paid.
Through Adidas.
You got right, because Muzzy got him. That's right.
Muzzy got him for me.
We were giving him the waterfall. I forgot.
True that.
Shout out on the waterfall claps.
So,
so what's the so you got the ZX 4000. What's the underscore 40? Or is that 4D? No, it looks like 40, like 40.
I thought it was 4D.
Oh, maybe I'm.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It should be the ZX 4000 4D.
Yeah, on here it looks like a 4D, but on here on the front piece, it looks like 40.
Yeah, because they have the ZX 4000, but these are the 4D model.
That's what it says. ZX 4000, then an underscore 4D, but it looks like a 0 on the front piece. But on the back piece, it's more visual. Yeah, I agree with you. Dollar store laces, not
What
a shoe
about
that
the
I could.
stripes,
I just don't think
though?
I can pay that much for the shoe, dog.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with it that much.
The stripes look like it's just tape.
What do you mean?
Like it just.
Like ATR taping.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I think it
bother
looks
me.
cool.
It
I
doesn't bother me.
like the subtle hits.
It's not like bad quality or anything either. It's not like they're just gonna peel off.
Yeah, in my opinion, JJ, I think I like it because it has to be more subtle. You have a very loud shoe with this, and this pops in this colorway. I think doing some subtle ATR stripping as the stripes, I think is awesome.
Dude, there's
Well,
so
why not
much
3M?
There's so much branding on the whole shoe. From the branding here to the branding here to those stripes. Then you have 3 little pink things here.
Right.
You have 3
that
little
is
yellow.
that is for the ZX.
Right.
That yellow, yeah.
So there's just so much branding all over the shoe. You have an Adidas logo with ZX4D on the inside of the suede there. There's branding all over.
This is like the 270 of Adidas.
Right,
with branding.
right.
Remember the 270
yeah,
has
Nike
it.
270, yeah.
It's like wearing a billboard.
Yeah, it was so cool, man. I'm glad you got the shoe. Not one that I'm going to probably go after. That retail price scares me away.
What do you think of the weight? Pretty heavy for a 4D,
yeah,
huh?
Oh, super heavy. Super heavy. That's another thing I was just thinking. Imagine these in a 12. Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh, they'd be stompers.
Stomping.
Stomping.
You'd be romping around town in a 12, dude.
And
That's
it feels like it's majority in the sole.
Any
versus
difference in the
bottom.
4D technology on this one from the ones you have?
Yeah, when I look at them, it looks like 4D is definitely evolving. Now, is that good or bad? But the patterns are different. Because this is my third pair.
This seems more stable.
Yeah.
Like has more to it. More
they're
whatever these are
they're
called.
putting different cushion in different spots, and I think they're evolving with the 4D. However, Adidas believes it to be the best. So, the patterns are definitely different, and I would say the support and stability differ between shoe. Because I have the Alpha Edge, the OG pair, and then I have the Onyx, the Gray Onyx 4Ds, and now I have these. And the patterns are starting to change a little bit, and I think that's just evolution and Adidas finding out what works best for each different model.
Right.
So yes, they are different.
Interesting.
But I love it, man. I think it's a great shoe. Now, there is a gray colorway, a carbon colorway of this same model slated to come out in May. And then there are other rumored colorways of like more grays and more red, which is darker grays and darker red on the shoe that may be more towards the end of the year. But this is the first of it, and happy to have it, man. Happy to have this shoe in my collection. I'm going to rock the shit out of it come spring, summer.
That's what I was going to say. What are you waiting for to bust them out? Spring, summer?
Yeah, this weather sucks
Obviously.
here.
Yeah, right. You're not going to wear them today, but
I love them, man. I'm happy to have
first
them.
nice day we have.
Yeah.
You're out.
I got one other pair, and they're not quite a pair of shoes, but dude, you got me, and I may get a little razz for this, and I think you'll know why here in a second, because I do have a pair, but this is the pair that I always loved when they first came out. This was the pair that I wanted. I never had the money for it. My parents didn't have the money for it, so it's a remade model of an older model, and you got me inspired, so I'm ready to tear it up with you, and I'll show you
I'm
how.
interested to see. Inspired. I'm trying to think back to the combos that we've
like
had.
maybe 2 or 3 combos ago.
2 or 3 combos.
Maybe 2.
All right.
Maybe even the last one. Hold on.
All right. So this is a shoe that you paid. Oh, it's not even a shoe. Oh, wow. Rollerblades. Holy shit.
Dude,
Oh my
it's the
gosh.
rollerblade downtowns, dude. I absolutely love this model.
Is there these are new?
Well, I bought them. I bought them from a buddy yesterday that I bought for in the past, and I absolutely love this model.
Dude, are you going to use these right now?
I'm ready to shred with you.
No, you're not.
Dude. Look at how gently used these are.
This fool's got some rollerblade TRSs up
dude,
here, the downtowns.
Hey, dude, I'm trying to fruit boot with you. Let's go downtown with the downtowns.
A little wrist guard action
What do you know
inside
about the wrist
boot?
guards with them?
Wow. It was always tight. You only wore one. I always wore one just on my right because I was always falling on my right wrist more. I never really messed up my left. So I was just skating one, go up to the skate park, hit a little freaking Royale, a little backside Royale, boom, boom. Just show them I'm about that life real quick. Rollerblading, that was the shit as a kid. Dude, that's so tight.
You got me inspired, man. So, like, these are, like, super gently used as you look at them.
Oh, they look like they've barely been used. They look like it hit a couple grinds, and then they were done.
Maybe a couple grinds.
Yeah.
But, dude, the wheels...
Actually, the funniest thing about these, sorry to cut you off, it looks like they haven't hit any grinds. It looks like they've been trying to do some grinding, but no actual grinding.
And they missed the grind.
Yeah, it went down because the sides of them are, like, beat to shit.
Yeah.
Or, like, they have scrapes on them, but then the grind plates are... pristine, dude. Like they've done no grinding.
Totally.
They've done some attempted grinding, but there hasn't been much sliding going on.
Dude.
It doesn't even look like they locked on to a rail with these or a ledge or anything, bro.
Dude, guess what? This boot looks the same because usually you favor one
Right?
more than the other.
My right side, my grind plates are different on my left, and my right side, like the outside grind plates are really smoked.
Totally.
Yeah.
Pristine.
Both sides. Who did you get these from?
A buddy that I've bought shoes from actually on OfferUp, man.
Oh,
so somebody
okay.
one of my favorites that I have.
Yeah,
'cause,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
you can do favorites. It's like a social
He just
media.
listed. Did he list them up there?
He listed them up there. I hit
No
him up. I
way.
said, dude, I need a deal on these.
No freaking
He's like, oh
way.
yeah, man. Take a guess at what I got these for.
And they're your size and everything.
Yeah, size 10. Go ahead and take a guess.
$20.
How much?
$20.
I'm gonna say 100. I'm gonna say 80 to 100.
Gotcha. It's in the middle of both of you guys. JJ, old cheapskate McGee over there. $20. JJ.
Yeah,
you can't
their
even.
skates are basically brand new. These things are retail for probably about $2 to $220.
JJ, you can't even get a dick whap for $20. Get the hell out of here. So, anyways, I got them for $35.
Whoa, super steal.
35?
I would have
Really?
said 50 was a steal,
Seriously?
bro. I would have said 70 was a steal.
$35 is a stupid steal on these. Brand new, haven't even been used. Got the nice subtle hints of leather. I even got some wrist guards with these. Dude, the wheels aren't warped. I mean, has this even seen
That's what
pavement?
I'm saying. And he has the wheels in here. This is what's called rocker.
Yeah.
So he's rocking rocker, which means your actual middle wheels touch the ground when you skate.
Correct.
I go what's called anti-rocker. So I just had little tiny wheels in here. So they didn't actually touch the ground. They were just there to kind of keep the rail from sliding.
Mm-hmm.
Now I actually use a frame from a company called Ground Control.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 wheels. This whole thing is a huge grind plate in the middle. So you could just lock onto like huge rails, ledges. Like there's really no restrictions. Which this actually you could take, like if you wanted to, you could take this whole frame off, buy some ground control frames, and put ground control on there, and you'd be rocking the same shit I am.
Then I'd be ground control to Major Tom.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
JJ's like JJ Sleep Fest over here. Just doesn't understand classics.
I'm pumped, dude. You know I've got the USD Rashard Johnson Thrones, or Ratcher Johnson as I call them.
The red joints, dude.
All
those
red
are so
USDs.
sick.
The all red USD Thrones is what I'm rocking.
Yeah. You know me, I got to be the most neutral guy on YouTube.
We got to go hit some rails, dude. We got to go at least skate some PVC. Do you still have the one we made at your old crib?
It's still at Muzzy's.
It's still chilling outside, all weathered?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Not probably sliding at all anymore.
No.
I'm gonna go over there and try to lock on and do a quick soul grind and eat shit.
Just get warped off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gonna need to bring the wax. Mom, I'm coming over to get some candles.
Yeah.
My parents used to get so pissed. I used to just jack all the candles from around the house and be going and waxing up ledges and waxing shit up around town to skate. Me and my homies, I would always be our candles were
destroyed.
Dude, they'd come back. One time I took one and it had a little holder.
Oh, geez.
And I literally I used it to grind to wax up this ledge, and I waxed the shit out of this ledge with the side of the candle. Went and put it back in the holder, dude. Nobody knew for like a year until my mom went to use the candle and started burning down, and then all of a sudden it started leaning and tilting. It almost freaking caught the whole coffee table on fire, dude, because it started to burn all sideways.
That's fire.
It was it was what was fire was my ass after I got beat.
That's true.
That was on fire, but nonetheless, good times. brings me back to my youth. Thanks for
Gotcha.
bringing in the rollerblades. I'm super glad that you copped those.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So we got to use those. Do you remember back? Oh man, this must have been 10 casts previous. Remember when we were talking about Russell?
Oh, here you go. Sorry. I know how you feel about your shoe trees.
What was this in? The ZXs?
I don't know. Yep, I think so. I'll put it back right now.
Do you remember when we were talking about the Russell brand, clothing?
Of course.
And JJ was super confused
Screw you.
and thought it was.
Screw
We were talking about Russell brand,
Yeah.
and he's talking about the Russell branding of socks
Yes.
and clothing and that kind of
Yes.
stuff. Well, just for him, I went ahead and had a pair of brand new dead stock Russell Performance Athletic socks with the Fresh Force technology. I don't know what that is,
Dang.
but I think JJ would really need these, and I think when he's lunking over there with a stringer, I think this is gonna be perfect, man.
Yeah, you're gifting those?
Yeah, we're gonna gift those to JJ. So
right.
Russell athletic socks for the JJ, the man, the myth, the Springsteen.
I appreciate the gift, but at the same time, screw you.
Hell yeah.
What do you mean, JJ? That's how you treat your friends when they try and do something nice to you?
No, I really appreciate the gift. Like, it
Screw
means a
you.
lot, but like, he essentially just roasted me for fucking up.
Oh, it was a light roast,
Yeah, it
and
was-
you got some stuff out of it.
Yeah, it was a light roast.
Why
man.
are you giving those to him? Are you just not going to wear them, or you just wanted to be nice, or what?
I just
What's the
felt
reasoning?
inspired.
You don't need them, or
I'm inspired to give them to JJ.
it seems like a weird gift because you can't run out of socks. Like you can never have enough socks. You wear them every day. They're gonna get worn out. Why wouldn't you keep those around and just put them in the rotation?
I don't need them, man. They are JJ. They are a performance sock. When he's in his Springsteen,
Right.
getting busy,
Okay.
I think he's just gonna. I think he's really gonna maximize his time at the gym with these. I think the freshness of his feet are going to be so much better, and I just
freshness of his feet.
And with the new force field technology, I don't even know what that is, but it sounds really good, and I think JJ's really going to benefit with these. I think he's going to be a new man,
I like it.
and for that, I'm proud to be a part of that.
Well, that's a good transition. Let's move into Supreme then. Let's move into
Yeah.
Supreme. I know you have some stuff on Supreme, JJ. You have some stuff on Supreme, Dallas. A lot of big Supreme news going on. What is that? Why did that voice, JJ? Do you not have anything on Supreme then?
Oh, no, I have plenty on Supreme. No, I'm just kind of like pissed that this lookbook took forever to get out, but
You and
now
Eric-
it's finally out.
You and Eric Whiteback, right?
Yeah.
You both
Yeah.
pretty upset.
You and E-Dub.
E-Dub.
A little disappointed.
But I'm really disappointed in the clothing. Not gonna lie. I hope they bring some better items to the list with their collabs, hopefully. But their accessories are absolutely insane. Like it's mind blowing. Before we get into that, I will say that give me 1 second. So the lookbook preview today, February 18th. The first in-store launch will happen February 21st. The first online launch will be February 25th. And then the second online launch will be March 7th.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
this
then
coming Thursday, the
that
drop
will-
is in store only.
In store.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's only for the U.S. and Europe. Japan has a different schedule, it looks like.
Japan is later. Okay, so the UK. So in the US, let's just talk about. So you can go to New York, you can go to LA.
Anywhere in Europe, I think. it's
London. There's one in London for
yeah.
sure. Okay.
And I don't know. I just saw Eric Whitebeck's story this morning, and I don't know much about it, but I could have sworn he was saying something about a new Supreme store in New York or something. They're upgrading, so I don't know. Maybe there might be another one. We'll see.
Yeah, he just moved there too, so I think he was
Yeah.
a PA guy. He just moved out there full time.
Nice.
That's super dope.
But before we get another thing before we get into the accessories, some big collabs coming this season will be with Gore-Tex, Ghost Rider, if you've seen it with Nicolas Cage and everything.
Okay.
The Skull on Fire.
Sure.
Raiders apparently.
So the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joshua Smith, he's an American artist based in New York.
Okay.
And then artwork from Salvador
Dali.
Dali.
Yep.
The Persistence of Memory masterpiece. He was
Which is one of his well-known paintings. I am familiar with that whole masterpiece. Salvador Dali was awesome, man. He was a very eccentric, eclectic artist, very visual. The images are just wild. It's almost like melting, like things melting on canvas. And
Yeah, he's known for the painting where it's all the clocks just melting in a
for
desert
sure.
scene. It's so weird, but it's really cool. But to get to the accessories,
Yeah, tell me about some accessories, because you know I'm an accessory guy, JJ.
biggest,
Blow my mind here.
The biggest thing, and I know you're already trying to get this,
'Kay.
is the Supreme
Raiders jacket. Just kidding.
Get the hell out. Hey,
Did you see that thing?
Yeah, if it was Kansas City, I'd get it.
Did you see? Oh God, get out of my face.
Kansas City, I'd get it.
Hulk Hogan wannabe. Well, go ahead.
with Pat Mahomes on
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
But the biggest thing so far, it sounds like, is the Supreme Pearl drum sets. And the thing
fire.
is, before you get too excited, a Pearl drum set goes for $1,200 alone. So you already know
That's like a
this
low end
Supreme
pearl, dude.
That's a low end pearl.
That's
Yeah.
a low end pearl, bro. Let me tell you a little bit about drum sets here. When I got in 6th grade, I got a drum set. I was given it for Christmas. Started playing drums. I saved up money to get a pearl later down the road. And this shit was not no $1,200. I'll tell you that right now. It was expensive. Okay. And so back when I was playing drums, that was it, to have a pearl. So what I wouldn't do for this.
I know. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to put in perspective here that this is going to be at least 10 or 20 G's. Easy.
I think 10, 20 G's. I could say 10 G's. 20 G's?
Maybe 15.
You said 30 G's?
I said 10
believe
or
you
15.
You said this going to be 40 G's?
Oh my gosh, you're just putting words in my mouth here. Oh my gosh.
Is there no pricing yet on
No.
anything? Okay.
I didn't see it
Nothing
either.
yet.
Yeah.
I think 10 is about right for the
And
pearl.
and before we continue and everything, I even looked for the first free gift and everything. I couldn't find anything anywhere.
There's no leaks on free gift? Because
I
remember
looked-
what it was last year, right?
Yeah, it was a bouncy ball.
Oh, that thing was fire.
Last season, yeah.
People
Okay.
were
Bouncy.
tearing those shits up.
So I like the drum set. That is kind of my favorite accessory, but obviously that's going to be a tough one. That's this year's pinball machine, right? Gotcha.
I would say so.
I think so.
That's what it is, right? So a couple of my favorite ones. I don't play pool as much, but there's a new Supreme pool cue, which is pretty sweet. There's also the Supreme Red, like the director's chair, which I think is really fire. The old dirty bastard rug, which is the same T-shirt I wore last cast. Do you remember the shirt I wore last cast?
Yeah.
What do you know about that, dude? I think that's really fire. That would be a cool ass rug to have in my man cave.
Let me see it again. Oh, yeah.
You know, so that is the old dirty bastard ID.
Wasn't
you
that
know?
like a food stamps ID or something like that I was seeing?
I think I can't remember exactly on that, but I think it was just an it was an identification
It wasn't
card for
an
food
ID, but
for food compensation, something like that,
Yeah.
because it said it on there around the border of it. So yeah, it was some sort of food coupon ID, which is kind of funny, you know. What do you know about the Supreme Super Soaker 50?
I saw it on there and I couldn't click it. So I couldn't see if that was like a real one. Like it's actually coming in a package with the regular shit.
Here, I'll show you.
I know, that's what I saw. It looks like a keychain to me. I don't know what the fuck that is. Let me see what the fuck the packaging looks like. Let me see it real.
No,
that shit pissed me off.
This
when I saw it, to be
is
honest
a
with you.
25-ounce capacity, 35-foot range Super Soaker 50.
Coming in the original packaging or not?
I don't know.
Exactly. Why would they show it like that? That pissed me off, to be honest with you.
Did it?
Yeah, because I looked at it and I was like, what are we doing here, guys?
How about not be pissed off? How about ready to have a Super Soaker Supreme 50?
No, because I'm not ready. I don't want to buy a cheap version of a Super Soaker that doesn't even come with the... I'd rather have the Westbrook shoe. If the Westbrook shoe is coming in the packaging, this should come in the packaging. It scares me a little that they don't picture it with the packaging.
Yeah. Well, all right, cool. Let's move on. Do we have any fishermen here?
Yes, Sal, Isaac.
What do you know about the Supreme?
I think he was talking about in this room.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
one starts naming people here at Certified.
I know JJ.
Yeah, dude, Sal and Isaac. Oh, you guys know them out there. Listen to the cast every week. And
I know
Sal and Isaac.
I know JJ's a fisher of men for sure, not a fisherman, but they've got some Supreme lures.
See how they show the Hot Wheels? I'm not done with this. See how they show the Hot Wheels in the packaging?
I do see that. Yeah.
Why don't they show the Super Soaker in the packaging?
Well,
this gives me trepidation.
they also show the Band-Aid
Exactly,
with the
dog.
Band-Aid packaging.
Exactly.
Maybe the packaging was covering it up too much or something. I feel like they have a logical reason why they.
I
didn't show
don't think it's coming in the original Super Soaker packaging. I think there's something wrong here.
Maybe
They're
have
trying to
their
pull the
own
wool.
special Supreme Super Soaker like.
I don't want their own special. I want the OG Super Soaker packaging with the Supreme logo on it, like they do with everything else.
All right.
Make a collab Supreme packaging. If this thing just shows up with a little Supreme tag on it or a little, no, I want the shit that they're giving to Russell Westbrook. I want that situation with the Westbrook shoe. If you guys missed that, go back and check that episode out, or just look it up. Russell Westbrook Super Soaker.
You want the situation? No Jersey Shore. Got it.
Yeah. What will you say?
They really killed it with the Hot Wheels they're releasing. They're releasing a
some nice packaging, right?
BMW M4.
M3. No, M3.
M3. My bad.
I was an M2.
With a transport truck, and it's so cool how they set it up because the first part of Supreme is on the BMW and then the rest is on the truck.
On the truck. Yep. So when you pull it out and you have it unloading, it'll say the word full Supreme. Between the two different cars.
That's sick.
Which is pretty sick. I like that. What about the acrylic photo frame where you can actually put a sweet little photo and still be hyped? I think that's kind of cool. I think I'm going to get that for Robin. That'll be my late Valentine's Day present. She'll be hyped up. NBA, they do have the headbands and then the wristbands coming out. Supreme on the headbands, a little bit the Nike logo and then the NBA logo. So kind of almost kind of like a tri collab, I guess that would be. Supreme, NBA, and then Nike, which is kind of cool. Some of the other ones, what do you know about an Uzi gun inflatable pillow?
That's sick. That's
kind of fun.
Probably gonna sell for $200.
I didn't see that.
Here, there you go.
That's so weird, dude, that it pulls up on your phone. Like, you go to the website on the computer, and it doesn't allow you to pull up the lookbook. It shows you the first page, and it shows you that ugly guy that posed on all the jackets standing there.
Interesting. I think one of the weirdest accessories is the Supreme power drill pin. I don't really understand. I have a lot of tools. I have a lot of power tools, but I don't really understand that, but I think I might have to grab them.
That is a little strange.
Maybe I can get all three. Like, I'm going to play Pokemon with these. I got to catch them all.
You know what you need?
What?
You know what you really need?
You
need that.
I need some Yu-Gi-Oh pins. That's what I need.
You need that Supreme hammock to go with your new car, man.
Ooh,
with
call.
your Presto tints.
I do. Where is that hammock?
It's a camo hammock. It's pretty sick. Not gonna lie.
Wait, was anybody gonna do any snorkeling this year with Supreme?
I saw that.
Because maybe I might. Maybe I might take that down to Mexico and get hyped down in Mexico. You know?
Are you going to?
Maybe.
Dude, there's a ton of stuff. I
love accessories. This is my favorite part. I'm trying to get all those lures as well.
What about that crown though?
The crown. Well, it's an air freshener, correct?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's a crown air freshener. So I guess that would be cool to make your car hyped and smell good, but I'd rather have the new car smell of my 4Runner instead.
What's your favorite thing or the thing that you're going after most here?
Out of all of those... Sorry, I'm looking at him again.
I know,
That's a tough decision,
It's so tough.
Because I'm an
looking through
accessory
everything
guy.
too.
I say fuck everything else. I'm an accessory guy. I would love to go after the drum set, but there's no way I'm going to pay the price that probably ends up being. Now, if you and I want to partner up with that and own it for a little bit and then maybe sell it, I might be interested in something like that. But I don't think I'm going to want to pay what the price is on that.
What about them leopard print underwear?
Those boxer briefs?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm cool. I mean, I get them, I guess, but no, I'm cool. I think my favorite accessory out of all of these that we're seeing thus far, I like the Hot Wheels thing. I love the Super Soaker. With or without the packaging, I'm cool. I want the Super Soaker 50 just because I love Super Soakers.
If you love the Old Dirty Bastard rug, you're going to need the skateboard too, my man.
Okay, for sure. So the rug, the Super Soaker, and the Hot Wheels 92 BMW M3. And then the lure as a fourth. Those are my favorite ones. Those four. What about you guys?
Oh, man.
What if you can only pick one, unlike Dallas, who wants all accessories and narrow it down to four, which is pretty good?
Gosh, dude.
One?
I think here's what I really, really need out of this stuff.
You need to see the packaging of the Super Soaker 50.
I need that to see that packaging. I do need that.
Totally.
I am over it now officially. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Dragging that on too long. Dude, for some reason, I want both of those director chairs. I think I just want them to sit in for me and you whenever we start doing if we start doing reviews and shit again. Like in here, I don't know. I just want it. That's not number one though. Number one is that racing jacket, dude. The jacket that has they have a hat and some shorts with the exact same design on them.
Let me see if I can find which one here.
You know which one I'm talking about though? It's like the Indy 500. It's like it's like a parka, pullover parka, and it's got the racing.
Is it the Grand Prix parka?
Let me see. Grand Prix. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
I see
Dude,
it.
that thing is so sick to me. The car crash on the back and like the Supreme along the wall up top and
Yeah.
stuff, dude. That thing is just so dope.
I do see that.
So depending on the price, I would really like that. If it's $450, like the Kith hoodie I wanted, I'm probably going to tap out. But I would love to try to get that thing for retail. I just think it's super dope. I really just want to rock it. The other thing, Zippo lighter, dude. I really would like that Zippo lighter.
Yeah.
I would just like to keep that, just like I want the ashtray, just chilling on my table in my living room. Accent piece does get used, will get used to smoke weed. I would like that as well. I would like the Zippo lighter. I would like that jacket. I want to see the packaging on the Super Soaker. And then there's a couple other little things. I think the little keychain is cool. Little pocket knife keychain. Supreme, that's pretty cool. I'd probably fuck with that. Just because the same thing, I'd use it. I like the shorts with the ODB picture on them. I like the slides, the felt.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or not the felt, I'm sorry, the fret slippers. I like those. Those are kind of the things I'm looking at. I mean, obviously I love the drum set, but it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, those are the things that I think are super dope. I actually really like that lighter holster too. Did you see that? A Supreme lighter holster just to stick a regular lighter in.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I thought that shit was tight. JJ's laughing at it, but I thought it was tight.
It's a necklace, it looks like.
Yeah, like necklace, keychain, whatever.
I think you should make Gavril Customs make something for you.
Yeah,
like a Gucci or a Vuitton or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
A Vuitton or whatever. Yeah, I think I like that stuff. I think that's what I'm kind of most looking forward to.
Nice. JJ, what about you?
First off, I would love to be able to have the chance to somehow manage to buy the drum set and then somehow manage to resell it to get a shitload of money.
Okay.
But that's gonna never happen. But I really like the skateboard with the kid who looks like he's about to throw a Molotov.
Yeah, the
That's
Molotov
dope.
cocktail. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
That and
It reminds me of DGK, that skate company a little bit, like some of their like logos. That
Yeah,
used in
yeah,
the
I can
past.
see that, yeah.
Dirty
Yep.
Ghetto Kids. Yeah.
For sure.
and the Hot Wheels. I grew up. I literally had this suitcase with both sides just filled with fucking Hot Wheels.
That's right.
And just like seeing it's an M3 too. Like I love cars.
You don't have
That'd
any
be
more?
sick.
You don't have any more of your Hot Wheels collection?
I'm pretty sure I do. It's probably just at my dad's house.
That's
though.
dope.
But
Yeah. Hey, shout outs to our people out there. I love Hot Wheels as well. I've got a lot of collections. I've probably got 150 Hot Wheels, brand new in the box. If any of you fools can find me any of the Gas Monkey Garage Hot Wheel collab that they did,
oh my gosh.
they did a little truck. They did the what was it? Maybe a Trans Am. I can't remember. With this big ass, blower on the top of the engine. If any of you guys have those or find those, hit me or franchise up. I'd love to get those. So if anybody has a hookup or have seen them or owns them, let me know if you can shoot me a price. I'd love to have that for my collection alongside with this Supreme Hot Wheels.
Dope. I think that's good on that, man. We got to kind of move on. The shows. We got to get this wrapped up, and we got to get into the YouTube comments really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more you guys got to say on any of that to close, or are we cool moving on?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's kind of get to the YouTube comments, finish out the show here. Let's go ahead and move into that. Dope podcast as always. Been in Aurora working auditing for Children's Hospital, but can never make it over there to see you guys. I did, however, try Denver Biscuit Company. Straight up fire. Been there a ton of times, dude. Denver Biscuit Company is dope. It's right across from our Certified Tattoo Studios Baker location, so I'm down there quite a bit in that area. Yeah, if you haven't been to Denver Biscuit Company on Broadway, super, super sick. Definitely recommend trying that out. That was the homie Jordan coming through. Next one here. I don't watch the Grammys. Does the Grammys even have a rock category? Just curious why you guys didn't talk any rock. Great cast, guys. Also, just thinking, because you were talking about how strong the black culture showed out on the Grammys. I think it was a good night for black culture. It was a good night for soul music. It was a good night overall, just for black culture in general. Rock, I've talked about this before in the past. There really is no more rock and roll. There just isn't. It is what it is. There's rock, there's like heavy metal or really hard rock, and then there's pop rock. The closest thing that we have to rock and roll these days is country music. It's the only music that is, there's still a little bit of storytelling going on. It's still kind of that feel-good music. It's something that you can actually probably listen to with kids in the car. That's the thing about old rock and roll music. There was a lot of provocative things being said in it, but they were said with upbeat melodies, and they were said in such a way that it wasn't offensive. They weren't just coming out and cussing or talking about grabbing a girl's pussy or whatever the case may be. You know, like fucking getting head, whatever all these fools are talking about. It just wasn't the same. They said things in a really subtle way. Doesn't mean they weren't serious subjects, doesn't mean they weren't serious topics or offensive topics, but they weren't said in an offensive way. Country's the closest parallel that I can really draw to rock and roll music today. Unfortunately, there just isn't.
Right.
There isn't rock anymore.
Right.
Like there's not rock and roll.
Well,
there's hard rock and heavy metal.
And what I would say about that, yes, there was some rock, there was some metal winners, and if you look at it, it's one of those things. So rock, which shout out to my boy who passed away, Chris Cornell, When Bad Does Good was the winner in the rock category. You had a metal performance, which we're not. I mean, I love metal, but I don't listen to a lot of it, so you're not. And it was this Electric Messiah, High on Fire. So it's things we don't really know about. They did have a best rock song, which is Mass Adduction, Jack Arnoff, Annie Clark. Things we don't know. Best rock album, From the Fires, which was Greta Van Fleet. So there was some things out there. Beck won for best alternative music album with Colors. So, I mean, there was some stuff out there, but these are the things that weren't publicized on TV.
Yeah.
This was all given to these winners, either before or after or during the show, during the day, that kind of thing. So we just kind of talked about what was publicized on TV.
For sure. Let's see. Next one here. Whatever you do, make sure you don't get it twisted. But Dal, you might actually need to get it twisted, aka burn some ganja. Yeah. That's from Marco, kind of talking about what you were talking about with just feeling down or feeling kind of out of it a little bit.
No doubt.
Lorenzo, keep your head up, Dallas. My condolences on your loss. I commend you for being as open as you are on the cast, bro. You guys being yourselves is what has me waiting for the cast to drop, like a sneaker drop on a Saturday morning. LOL.
That's
I fuck with y'all heavy. Keep it up. Also, what's up with Patreon? I got 5 on it. I know, dude. We got to get the Patreon going so we can eventually try to move out of our jobs and into making this life. Yeah. Making the whole channel life. Just whether it's we jump away from that and we do sneaker reviews, just for being able to rely on this for income. And neither of us want to do that because initially I know it's going to be really hard and it's going to make the show worse because we're not going to be able to cop as many sneakers. We're going to have to be more budgeted. We're not going to be able to cop Supreme or whatever. Like, working jobs gives us the luxury that we have to be able to do what we do and bring you the content we do. Doing the show full time may make it better as far as more content for you guys or whatever. But it's not always, more is not always better. And especially initially in that conversation, I'm trying to get to a point where I don't have to take a pay cut when I quit, where I don't have to have a loss or take an L, you know? And I don't know if that's possible, but that's the point I'm trying to get to. And hopefully Patreon allows that, man. Hopefully it really does. That's something definitely we're trying to get going. Another banger, you guys straight kill it. I'm fucking with you guys heavy. P.S. Fuck Kais Omar and the Dream Crew. That word hype beast dead as a motherfucker. TTF, real deal, Holyfield, 100. Hashtag manchild. He's with it. He's rocking with us. I appreciate it. Ghost Life coming through. Sitting Bull. Where's Dow's windbreaker from? Dope. I think it's the camo joint you had on.
Oh, yeah, the camo joint. That is H&M, $30.
Okay. There you look at that. Steely.
H&M, Steely Dan.
Steely, no Dan. Matthew McKay coming through. Halsey, very easy on the eyes. I think so, too.
Hell yeah.
I think it's also, it helps when someone's talented, too.
Oh, man.
From the homie Nicholas. Yo, great cast. Have y'all seen the Future documentary on iTunes called The Wizard? It's definitely worth the watch. I haven't. I'll check that out as soon as I can, man. Yeah. Future's a guy, I think he's talented, but I'm not always the biggest fan of his music. So it would be nice to know some behind the scenes and get a little bit of info so I can hopefully respect him a little bit more or have a little more respect.
He's super in the fashion game, high-end fashion mostly for him. So that would be interesting and insightful to me.
Cool. The homie Bruff, feel like I'm in on something early here. Keep building, guys. That's the way I feel too. I feel like you guys are all in on it early, man. I think it's only a matter of time before something happens for us or things work out and the show continues to grow and grow. I don't think it's going to be an over the night thing where we just wake up one day or snap our fingers and we're Howard Stern. Right. But I think it's building, and I think it's going to go in a certain direction. I think we're in a time period where we have the audience, we have the ears of the kids that listen of the 90s people. You know, JJ's young, but you and I, late 80s, early 90s, that's our shit. There's obviously a lot of other people and a lot of other, I know we're called millennials or we're considered millennials, even though we don't feel like we are. We get lumped in with that bullshit. And we're the real millennials. We grew up in a time where there was no technology, I don't want to say no technology, where technology was pretty bare as your 80s, early 90s type kids. We grew up before the internet when you still had to go outside, when parents told you go outside, play till the street lights come on, come home. You didn't have to worry about getting snatched up and thrown in a car, some fool rolling up on you in a rape van with asking if you want candy. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like that as much. It started a little bit and started to get weird in certain areas, but it wasn't like that as much. The gang stuff wasn't as crazy. And it depended on your area. Yeah. You know what I mean? It all spread throughout the country, but certain areas got it quicker than others. We grew up in a time where it was completely different, but we were still young enough that when technology came out, we were still able to embrace it. I say this all the time. I feel like we were so blessed to be born in the time that we were, man, because we're not jaded to where technology's everything to us. We still know how to maybe fix some shit and live without technology or the internet to where we are now. But we're still young enough to embrace it and know its powers and know what we can do with it.
And take advantage of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's analog childhood, digital adulthood. That's how I like to. I mean, that's what a zennial is.
A zennial.
A zennial. Yeah, dog.
That's dope. Okay. All right, let's move on here. Where was he? Oh, TTF, much love for the Ed Reed jersey. I'm a jersey guy myself. And mostly NBA. So my thoughts go to 80s and 90s NBA jerseys. Other than Jordan, who are your throwback faves for the jerseys in the NBA? Ooh. Open to Dow too, and even JJ, assuming he can research on the fly. LOL. Good cast, y'all.
I definitely have mine, but he asked you first, so I'll let you say yours.
I have a few different ones. If you only have one, I'll go ahead. I'll give mine.
Yeah, I've got a couple as well. So Larry Johnson, obviously, I had his jersey growing up. I'm trying to get a retro of his, and I was telling Franchise this morning before we did the cast. I was on Poshmark all night last night. J. Cole, kind of his performance inspired me last night.
That starter.
Watching him have that starter zip-up jacket with the big Hornet on there. So aside from the Bulls, the Hornets were my favorite team because Kendall Gill, Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Big Lonzo Mourning. That was my team, man. Grandmama, I still have the Aero Jams. Dead stock, both the white and the black peacock pair on ice. So Larry Johnson is one of my favorites. I need to get that one. Lonzo Mourning would be up there as well. But anywhere from Pippins to any Jordans. Right now there's a $300 Mitchell and Ness Jordan one that is that cream colorway that just came out. Big throwback. That's a $300 bill though, so I'm not trying to get that. And then if I go to football, Mean Dion. I got to get the Dion from the Falcons. Number 21, dog. That's my jersey. I will have that. I will have that soon. That's my next purchase, I believe.
It's funny. You're talking football. Same thing. Dion, Bo Jackson, any of those, like definitely, must cops. Definitely want to have them someday. Even with Bo Jackson, like having to rock that as a Raider, I almost would rather just have the Royals joint.
I'd have the Royals.
You know what I mean?
And I came from Kansas, so that's
a little better for
closer.
You, right?
Yeah, I'd rock a Royals.
Still dog shit for me, but
or George Brett from the Royals. Either way, both of those fire.
For me, man, in NBA, the old school Magic from the Penny Hardaway days, the Shaquille O'Neal days, the old school black and with the pinstripes, or the baby blue with the pinstripes. Those ones were huge for me. The old Denver Nuggets, like 85 to like 90. 92, that old Skyline jersey, Alex English days.
Alex English, yep.
That's another one for me. That's big. And then Seattle Supersonics, dude. Sean Kemp, Gary Payton. Gotta have one of those as well. Those are that's definitely in the all-time favorites. So those are the ones I would say, man, as far as NBA goes.
Would you have the Omnilight pumps with those as well?
Yeah, maybe.
Because see, I would get the Omnilight pumps and have the D Brown Celtics.
Yep.
Dang, number 7.
No shit. Woo-hoo. Fire. I guess I would have to say, with the Detroit in the blood, dude, the old Grant Hill teal Pistons joint. Oh, from like 95?
Yeah.
Bro. Gotta have that.
What
one.
about the 95 from Vinsanity, the Raptors?
Yes, dude, purple with the Raptors, old school Raptors font.
That is
Fire.
the best Raptors
No
in
doubt.
my opinion.
No
that
doubt.
middle 90s. Yep.
Yeah, I like that one too.
That's a sweet one.
It's really dope. The homie Colby coming through. The Grammys have shown zero respect to hip hop since it was added back in '89. Childish Gambino, "This Is America" was the first time that hip hop has ever taken home Song of the Year. In 30 years it's been around, only 2 hip hop albums have ever won Album of the Year. And even when they were giving out hip hop awards, they were fucking it up. Back in the day, Coolio's Gangster's Paradise won over Tupac's Dear Mama and Biggie's Big Papa in '96. I remember that. I remember what that was. And for me as a young kid at the time, I didn't really understand, like, you know, Gangster's Paradise was huge. It was a huge hit. It didn't really seem out of sorts to me at the time as a 10-year-old kid. I'm looking at it like, whatever. It kind of is what it is. But as I got older, you realize what a crying shame that was. You know, you realize, like, you look at Tupac and Biggie and then you look at Coolio. And you're like, who should have really won that? Yeah. Maybe that's us feeling the way we do because we do feel about a certain way about Tupac and Biggie. So maybe it's unfair for us to sit here and look back in that time frame and be like, oh yeah, that's super messed up. Yeah. Because they don't have the luxury of doing that. The Grammys, the judges, they just got to go off, this is what it is right now at this time. This is a monster smash. Obviously, with the Dangerous Minds soundtrack, the movie came out, Michelle Pfeiffer, all that stuff really led to the success of that record. It wasn't just Coolio and Gangster's Paradise. There was a lot more to it. Right. Those other 2 songs were not attached to huge box office films, you know? So a little bit of that going. Remember when Timbaland was on every single back in the early 2000s? Neptune's, Jay-Z, Timberlake. Yeah, he lost Producer of the Year award in 2001 to whomever the producer for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack was. They also went on to beat the Outkast Stankonia Album of the Year. Nas has never won a Grammy. SNL's I'm on a Boat featuring T-Pain actually got nominated for Best Rap Collab back in 2010. Evanescence beat 50 Cent for the Best New Artist in 2003. Black Eyed Peas wins Best Rap Duo or Group in 2005 and 2006. All very good points.
I agree.
I mean, all very good points. Yeah. And that's why it was so, like, it was cool to see black culture and Childish Gambino, and not necessarily even hip hop, but just black culture be represented well at the Grammys overall. That's what I enjoyed about it. A quote from Eminem: "Every year we went, I was up for Album of the Year, and their winner was Norah Jones. Don't fucking get us all here to use us as your selling point for the fucking show and then stiff everybody every single fucking time. After that point in time, I said, don't ever ask me to come here again. My answer is no for 100 million years." I remember when M came out with that quote. He was super disappointed because he's right. He was there giving the Grammy moment. He was there having the hug with Elton John after they performed Stand together. He was the reason that a lot of people tuned in. And then, like you said, you're going to give Norah Jones the Grammy. Rough, dude. Rough. Because I can't disagree with him there. All right. We already saw that. What are we doing? What's up with your Broncos, guys? They make some weird QB moves. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone's freaking out about the Joe Flacco thing. I'm going to tell you guys where I come in on it. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. This isn't the long-term plan. This isn't the long-term solution. This isn't John Elway going out and saying, we found Peyton Manning. We got our guy. This is simply John Elway saying, hey, I've got to keep this locker room in order. I've got to make sure people know that we're still trying to compete. I got to make sure people that know that we're not just packing it in. Though this isn't just, we're going to be shitty for a few years and we're just accepting it. Even though that's really what they need to do. They need to rebuild and take the time to rebuild and draft a quarterback. And Joe Flacco's the perfect guy if you draft a young quarterback to have him sit under. Yeah. I don't think Joe Flacco's going to come out and light it up any more than Case Keenum did this year, especially if you still have a bad O-line. Doesn't matter who you have back there. Yeah. A bad O-line is going to expose a lot of weaknesses. Yeah. So if you can run the ball this year, if you can make some O-line improvements, still be good on defense, I think Joe Flacco can do okay.
And have the experience that Flacco has, and I guarantee with Elway at the helm, we got the price we wanted.
Right. Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
I think they'll probably pay him around $18 million a year, which is what Case was going to get this year anyway. Yeah. So I don't look at it as like, it's not that big of a deal to me. A lot of people are freaking out like, oh my God, this was always moved.
Right. Flacco's on the way out. Like, dude, what's going on?
This isn't his move. This isn't his big move. No. He's just doing something. He's basically anything he could right now to improve the team.
This is a 1 to 2 year move. That's what this is.
Do you want your young guy sitting behind Case Keenum or do you want him sitting behind Joe Flacco?
Pretty easy.
Probably Joe Flacco.
Pretty easy.
So whether we draft a guy in this year's draft coming up or we wait until next year
following.
with Tua Tagovailoa and all the Justin Herbert and Oregon and all those fools that are coming out, this is just a wait and see approach. This is not a final solution. This is just, hey, I look at the Broncos before Joe Flacco and after Joe Flacco, and are we a better team? I think so.
I think we're a better team
there's
with
a
Flacco.
little bit of an improvement there. So
I'd agree.
I don't look at it as negative, but I also don't look at it as like this is the solution for the future either. So Steven, another great cast. Big props to Dal for being honest about his relationship and how he feels. It's refreshing to hear that kind of honesty and some really good advice from franchise too. Keep the head up. On a separate note, I'm looking for a bit of a sneaker advice. I copped the ZX 4000 4Ds, but a half size too big. I'm a US 9, but accidentally ordered a UK 9, which is a 9.5 US. I live in Ireland, so if I sold on StockX and bought my size, I'd get hit with huge fees and lose around $180 US, which is 150 euros. Damn. They only dropped online and didn't drop in store here in Ireland, so getting a size swap with someone is impossible. Mm-hmm. So my question is, would you guys rock them a half size too big with the extra insole, or would you keep them DS, cash out if the prices go up, and then try to get my size?
If it were I would not rock them a half size up. And the reason I wouldn't is because the tongue is not stitched in there, so the tongue moves a lot. And the bigger that shoe is, that tongue is going to have more movement. It's not going to fit right. Plus, the 4D is a heavy shoe. So I would not rock that a half size too big. It's not going to feel good. It's not going to fit right. You're going to have the heel flip. I don't like it. If it were I in your position with the amount of fees that you would have, I would reach out to any consignment shops. There's got to be a shoe consignment shop that you can just consign your shoe there, let it sit, get the right price. I mean, if we have them in Denver, I would figure you'd have them somewhere.
There's no Urban Necessities Ireland?
There's no UN Ireland yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. There's no Slobby's World over there? No? Okay.
Yes.
I would try to find a
consignment
shop. I would try to find a consignment shop, maybe put it whatever price you want. It's not going to sell until it's that price. If somebody's interested, that consignment shop will then hit you up and say, hey, I got somebody in here. Here's the price.
But even if he doesn't have all that, you're saying no. At absolutely
I would not
all
rock
costs, do not rock it.
So if anything, if he has to do anything, hold on to him.
Hold on to him. Try to sell him for more.
Yeah, because this is an OG colorway of this model. We have two other models, potentially colorways, coming out this year. You may see a rise in value on this OG because of that. You may not, but I wouldn't rock it a half size big.
Yeah, that's tough too, especially when you paid that much. $350 retail. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, best of luck to you. It sounds like we're both on board to just hang on to the shoe and wait for the price to try to go up so you can sell.
Yeah, and the ZX is true to size. If anybody has any questions, I would go to your true to size. That is it. This was a mistake, a UK mistake. I've made that mistake myself as well. But
if anyone wants to size swap too here in the comments, man, leave him a comment or check him out, hit him up. You guys can exchange, DM, go through Twitter or whatever. I assume everyone that's rocking with us in the comments or this in depth with shit is on the up and up.
Sure.
You never want to just trust anybody, but if you can find someone through here or through sneaker Twitter that would size swap you, even if you have to pay them a little bit extra or pay for their shipping, might make it worth it, man. Mm-hmm. That way you don't feel like you're missing out. And I would middleman for you guys too. If you guys want to send them to my shop here, I'll make sure the shit's straight and on the up and up, and then I'll send them off their separate ways. I'll swap them for you guys. I'll send the other pair to the 9 to Ireland, and I'll send the 9.5 to whoever wants to swap. So if you guys need that from me too, let me know. Sorry, we're going long on this cast. I apologize, JJ. It's a little bit long, but we got to finish the rest of these comments. I don't want to slight anybody. So let's see. Would love to come in and join the show. You've inspired me to start up a podcast with a friend of mine from work. We're working out the schedule and topics, but plan to go live March 1st. Appreciate you guys, even the boy JJ. Yeah, dope, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. I think there's a couple people that talked about starting sneaker channels or starting stuff for listening to our stuff. What I would say is just be yourself, man. Be original and try to do your own thing. Don't try to follow our format or follow what we're doing, because that's what we did. We just came in here, saw what we thought would work, and we've just evolved it and kind of made it work around what we love to do. So I would definitely recommend that. If you're not doing or talking about something you enjoy, the podcast isn't going to last very long. If it's not something that you enjoy doing and it's more of a burden to you, then it's just not going to be that fun. So make sure you're passionate about it. Make sure you're talking about things you enjoy. The homie Ken K, love the show, fellas. Keep plugging away. Appreciate it. Casey, Halsey's a cokehead, so that probably explains why she's single. Dope show though, guys. And then the The homie from Seattle chimed in. He said, pretty sure G-Eazy's a drug addict too. So I know G-Eazy's mad older. He's like 28, 29. She's like 23, 24. So there's a little
G-Eazy got stopped in I think it's Sweden with cocaine.
Yeah, I would think they're probably both doing drugs here and there. I don't know if they're coke heads or how addicted they are. I don't know the level of that. I think there's got to be some level of control if you're able to put on the performance you did on SNL. It's not like, I guess you could still be a cokehead and put on a great performance too. I don't know, but it's not like she's
more energy.
It's not like she's passed out in the back or she's running off and not doing her sets or doing her shows. So I don't know. I really can't speak to that, man. I feel weird talking about someone's sobriety when I don't really know a ton about it. Let's see. Mike the Man, another killer cast. Just got to say, Travis Scott is not talented. Don't at me. That's pretty funny.
Fair enough.
I agree. I said the way I felt. So we got some agreement on that. Facts. The homie Adam coming through. Don't sleep on my man Robert Palmer, fellas. Simply Irresistible. He did that one too? Oh, shit. I didn't even know that. I thought he only had that one joint. I swear I saw a VH1 show back in the day, like a one-hit wonder show, and that was all he had.
No, he did have Simply Irresistible. Yep.
What are we doing then? He had all the hits.
He had 2 bangers. He had 2 bangers, no mash.
He also didn't mean to turn you on, and he did covers of Every Kind of People and Marvin Gaye's I Want You. Not a huge catalog, but another solid artist gone too soon. R.I.P. Yeah. As far as the Grammys, Cardi freaking B can win Best Rap Album. Grammy, and Jay-Z gets completely shut out for 444 last year. I agree, dude. 444 last year.
I thought it was really good.
I was shouting from the rooftops that should have been album of the year.
Yeah.
I thought that album was incredible. I thought Jay-Z was completely real on it, transparent.
His
I thought the
samples,
beat selections, the sample, everything was fire. Production. So I agree on that with Jay-Z. That was bullshit. But I don't think Cardi was terrible. I think Cardi's doing. It wasn't the Grammys really switching up. When Cardi wins that, they're kind of she's the hot artist right now. They're kind of going with the same formula they've been going with. She's the hot artist now. She's making all the money. She's got all the singles. She's up on Billboard. That's why she got the album of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of what they've been doing. Let me finish this out. Sorry. Unbelievable. It's all about timing with these award shows. Dan and Shay, best performance of the night, in my opinion. Shay has better pipes than Andy Bernard. Post Malone finally got to show the world week that he's actually talented, which made me pretty damn happy. Don't agree with This Is America winning Song of the Year and Record of the Year as much as I love Gambino, but with today's social climate and the Academy's ability to always exercise their agenda through the awards show, I'm not surprised. Let's face it, it wasn't the best song of 2018. It wasn't really even a smash hit. Good, but not great. I can agree with you on multiple things that are said there. I think it was well thought out. I think the comment was well thought out. I totally agree. You actually touched on what I was just touching on with the climate of the Academy and their ability to exercise their agenda. That's exactly what they did there with Cardi B, man. You're totally right. It's exactly what they did with Gambino. I think it's cool for hip hop with the Gambino stuff, so I'm not like you there, but I could agree that not a insanely smash hit by any means.
Right.
The Adidas ZX 4000 4D drop was a joke. Discord groups were eating up all the stock with their bots. That's the reason the shoes would be instantly removed from your cart after you passed the waiting room and solved the CAPTCHA. Guys with bots were giving the carts with shoes. Guys with bots were giving the carts with the shoes to members of their group because each cart had a 10-minute checkout time. Dal, I appreciate you sharing what you're going through. Depression's a very serious topic, and I'm glad you're aware of it and taking the steps to improve. I totally get the frustration when things are not in line with Dal time, in quotations, but there needs to be compromises. It sounds like you realized how selfish you've been, and it just put you in a bad state. No judgments or shots. Franchise is right. Don't beat yourself up about it, but maybe do more things on Robin's time.
Yeah.
So, had a similar realization last year. There were a few times when my wife had a day off and would want to do something together, but I selfishly passed because it was Kith Monday, or it was Thursday Supreme drop, or it was Adidas restock / drop on a Friday, or it was Jordan drop Saturday. Looking back, I realized that I was such a dick. She knew I was a sneakerhead before we got married, so she knew she was signing up for it. She was cool with it, but I had to take a hard look at what I was doing, and I didn't like it. All my homies are into sneakers and streetwear too, so my wife and their wives started a Sneakerhead Wives support group. LOL. That's fucking funny. So now I just make extra effort to do nice things for her any chance I get. As a thank you for putting up with my ass, Supreme I'm sorry. That was all one. So now I just make the extra effort to do nice things for any chance I get as a thank you for putting up with my ass. Sorry, there was periods behind that, so I stopped and paused when I shouldn't have. Supreme's spring/summer 19 season starts in 2 weeks. Pray for me.
Yeah, no shit.
GoldenEye coming through. Solid fucking email or solid comment.
Yeah.
As always, man, coming through with the fire, reacting to everything. Self-realization's huge. I had to do with that with the story I told this morning with the trials and tribulations that me and my girl are going through and going to have to face and go through. And it's awesome that she's able to look at herself in the mirror and do kind of the same thing. And now it's not only me growing. I've talked about me having so much growth and me having so much improvement. She's going to get the same opportunity because really before there was little opportunities for growth, but sometimes it's hard for people to see that unless something big happens. Well, now something big has happened and now she's going to be able to experience the same growth and we're going to be going through the same stuff at the same time. It's going to actually be pretty damn cool, dude. If you look at it that way. So that's how I'm trying to look at it, is not such a negative there. But appreciate GoldenEye with the comment. The homie Thomas, Super Soaker brings back memories. Any other toys that were your favorites as kids? Ninja Turtles and wrestling figures, dude.
Yeah.
Those were, that was my shit.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, wrestling figures, Super Soakers.
I did some comic books here and there.
Yeah, I wasn't a comic guy.
My mom didn't let me have Marvel. She thought it was too gory, so I had to settle for DC, unfortunately. But there were still some dope ones, and that's kind of what this tattoo. I've got 2 lightning bolts on the forearms, which is a tribute to the Flash and also my favorite skater, Mike Vallely.
Nice.
So yeah. Turtles though, Ninja Turtles for sure.
Turtles
dude.
were huge.
And Hot
I had
Wheels.
the little pizza. I had the little Ninja Turtle pizza machine. It shot 20 pizzas out.
Yeah, out of the bus.
No, it wasn't a bus. It was like a little, I don't even know. It was like a pizza shooter, dog. I think it was literally called the Ninja Turtle pizza shooter.
Dude, they had all kinds of things that shot pizza. They had buses, they had toys, they had like things that
I had
could
the
go
underground
on your...
layer full. Splinter came with that set, chilling in the underground thing with all the pipes.
Did you have Krang's circular dome?
No,
I did.
But I did have Bebop and Rocksteady.
Everybody had Bebop and Rocksteady.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Johnny Boost. Yep, I had the Super Soaker 50. Funny enough, it was a Christmas gift that caused me to discover that there was no Santa Claus. I found the Super Soaker 50 in my mom's closet days before Christmas, and on Christmas morning, it had Santa's name on it on the tag, not my mom's. Oh, Johnny Boost.
Johnny Boost. Johnny Boost, what are you doing in your mom's closet, dog?
Johnny, is that a shot now? Damn, shots at Johnny
I never
Boost.
went in my mom's closet, but I don't know.
Doubt. Never mind.
Maybe that's where Johnny Boost knew she hid shit. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. You never went and snooped for Christmas presents?
Not in my mom's closet.
Weird. I snooped everywhere I could.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
I
I was up on top of the roof at one time.
Really?
I was up on top of the roof trying to peek down the chimney and see if some shit got stuck. Fool, I'm looking everywhere. Fool, I was leaving no stone unturned.
I think my mom hid most of her shit in the basement. We had an unfinished basement, and that's where I found my guitar. I already knew Santa Claus wasn't, obviously, but I was jamming on the guitar, dude. But like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Oh, geez.
I already had the amp
funny.
and the guitar plugged in.
Well, John Boost wasn't the same. Okay, John ruined his Christmas. He didn't know Santa Boost or Santa know Santa Claus was real yet. Okay,
yeah, for sure.
So you were knowing he wasn't real, and you were just snooping.
Yeah.
He didn't know,
Yeah.
and he just found something he didn't want to find. Ruined Santa for him.
Fair enough.
Decker, another sick cast. I really feel like this thing's going to blow up and get a huge audience soon. Also, what are your opinions on the 3 different colors of Nike Blazers that came out a couple weeks ago? Personally, I like them, and I might have to cop the green. I've never been a big Blazer guy, and being dead honest with you, I never even thought about copping a pair of Blazers until the Off-White collection.
Yeah.
Dead serious.
Yeah.
Being dead honest, hype beastie as it sounds, man, I just was never a Blazer guy. Still probably not. I would cop the Off-White ones if they came to me at the right price, but I wouldn't jump out of the window for them, and I probably wouldn't cop any other Blazers.
Yeah, I had a pair of Blazers that I skated in, but that was it. I didn't buy them because they were Blazers, and they were mad uncomfortable. So
gotcha. Well, shit, that kind of wraps up the YouTube comments, man. I'm sorry this cast went a little bit long. Sorry more for you, JJ. I know you guys probably appreciate the content and us going long for you. So, yeah, man, I'm ready to wrap up on that. I know we talked a lot about some personal stuff today and a lot of stuff that we're going to work through. I know you guys are probably going through things. Again, man, mostunderratedpodcast@gmail.com. If you have anything you want to say, any stories you want us to read, you need advice on certain situations, you can always let us know anonymously there. You can come through in the comments like all the homies do every week. You do that too. Socials, all the stuff, man. At OMG, it's TTF. At Dow Palantonio. Most underrated podcast on IG. Make sure you're following that as well. Anything more that you guys want to close on, man, or anything more that you guys have to say?
Real quick, give me a little sad music, real quick.
A little sad music. All right.
We're gonna end this cast with a little sad music.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You want me to pull up the sad? All right.
Hit me up.
All right, hold up.
Live them.
Pure Spectrum CBD too. Got to give them the shout out while I'm looking this up. I got my gift box from her, dude.
Did you?
Bath bombs, freaking the creams, the tincture. I got all kinds of stuff, dude. I'm ready to rock, bro.
Yes,
I'm super ready.
You're ready
to rock.
CBD. Hey, and shout out to the people. We just had a couple of orders over the weekend that went through. I always get a notification if one of our viewers or listeners makes an order. So shout out to you guys. Please in the comments let us know if it's working, how it's working. Give us any testimonials you can.
Yep,
we'd love to hear it
for sure. All right, cool. So I'm getting the. I don't know what you want to end with here.
Give me that slip.
But I get the sad music pulled up for you.
All right, guys, before we head out, got a little music for you. Got a little story for you.
Little music for you.
Payless is closing down all
of its U.S. stores. They're going to be closing 2,100 stores.
Damn. They're going to be open through the end of March on the U.S. and Puerto Rico side. But
why so long?
I just.
What do you mean? Why so long? Why so long? What?
JJ, you're ruining my slow music. Shut the fuck up. Okay. I'm really sad to see the BOGO is no more a go-go. Okay. Payless.
Like thank you cared.
Thank you for carrying the one thing that I still love today, Airwalks.
Oh, they still carry those?
I appreciate that.
Right now, to this day, I can go in there and buy some Airwalks.
Yeah, they're not as good
wow.
as in the 90s.
Right.
But Payless.
Where's Jev been?
Thank you. I'm gonna text Jev.
Yeah.
But
yo, better go get yourself some Airwalks.
Yeah. Chapter 11 bankruptcy. It affects a lot of people. It affects a lot of companies. And I want you to know that I appreciate you. My mom's gonna miss you. And the BOGO is no more of a go-go.
R.I.P. to Payless.
R.I.P.
In March, right? March 1st, or is it sometime in March?
Through March.
Through March. Okay, so April, technically.
Through March, and then some will even remain open till May. But,
I thought you said August.
Gone too soon. JJ,
Damn.
if you'd pay attention. Again, shut the fuck up. Payless. Gone too soon. And we're going to miss you.
Damn.
That's all.
Here's my thing with Payless. How did it take so long? How did it really take so long for these fools to go out of business? I thought for sure in the late 90s to early 2000s with the pop-up of like Ross and all these other discount stores, you can go buy Nikes and Adidas and name brand shoes at Ross and TJ Maxx and places for $29.99, bro. $39.99. Like you can go get your kids good school shoes that are name brand shit. Gone are the days where you need to be going and getting them the Walmart specials, the Kmart specials, the freaking Payless joints. Like gone are those days. Those shoes are the same price that you're paying for. Now, it may not be the brand new, most hyped shit for that's going down. May not be the greatest thing ever, but you could at least get your kids some name brand shoes. That was more than I could get at that age. Mm-hmm. When I was young, it was like name brand shoes were at least over $50, and my mom was not paying that, bro. If it wasn't $20, $30 at the most, I was out. And you weren't getting any name brand shit. So I'm very surprised that it took this long for Payless to go out of business, because I feel like people, who's rocking Payless anymore? It's costing the same price as some clearance or some cheap name brand shit.
Yeah.
Even though it's fucking cheap, at least it's still Nike. At least you still got Nikes on your feet. Keep my cipher complete. You know what I mean? At least you still got a little Adidas. You still got a little Reebok, whatever.
Yeah.
At least you still got Under Armour's big now, but that wasn't around when I was a kid as far as shoes. But
you can always go get the Shacks from Walmart.
No, that's the problem. I'm telling you, no, do not get the Shacks. Do not buy the Payless. Do not buy Walmart. Fucking go get yourself some name brand shit. If your parents buying your kids that shit, stop doing it. You can pay the same price.
Yeah.
Don't make your kids turn into me. That's what happened to me growing up.
I think
I had to have that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
don't do that to your kids, man.
I don't
get
know.
Made fun of at school and shit.
Yeah, I don't know what Payless e-commerce looks like. I don't know if anybody's really going to Payless online necessarily.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably an L, and that was probably part of it, because we're living in a world that is very e-commerce driven. You know, and I think that may have something to do with it, because I don't think they have a big presence online.
For sure.
And I think BOGOs can only hold for so long. So if you're getting a BOGO from Payless, you're getting multiple shoots.
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
you know, that can only last for so long. So,
sure.
you know, bless their hearts, man. I remember going there a lot with my mom. Hell, we had to drive 2.5 hours to even get to a Payless.
No shit.
Back in the day, you know, 2.5 hours to get our school clothing, and Payless was one of those, unfortunately.
Damn.
Unless I had an allowance, and then I drove another 2 hours to Wichita and got some good shit. But
Dope.
Until then, farewell, Payless. You were awesome.
All right, man. Shit, we'll close on that. Thanks you guys again, man, for tuning into the cast. Hopefully these personal stories and stuff at the beginning, man, some of the personal convo resonated with you guys. You've been in situations where you've gone through tough stuff, and hopefully that helps you guys out, man. And anyone new to the podcast, welcome in. Appreciate all the new subscribers, the new people that have found the podcast and listening, checking us out, DMing me saying, hey, I'm going back and listening to the old shows. Really, really appreciate you guys, man. So I think that we'll just wrap it up on that note. And as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you fools Friday.